All right. We are back.
No,
We're not back.
we are not Backstreet Back. All right.
All right.
if you're one of the Backstreet Boys, which one would you be?
I don't really know the names. I
Well,
want
I
to
mean,
be the one that had that really pencil thin mustache goatee.
AJ, you wanted to be the
AJ.
bad boy. Okay, you
Yeah,
wanted to be the bad
he had
boy.
the ponytail too, didn't he? At one point, didn't he have kind of long hair at one point?
Oh, was that AJ?
Whoever the pencil mustache, like,
Did he have the tattoos?
maybe. You're
Yeah,
asking me about 90s boy bands. That wasn't my forte.
All right. Let me rephrase the
That
question.
wasn't my forte.
Okay, so sorry, I forgot. You're more of a Spice Girls fan. So
I mean, who wasn't?
true.
Who was your
So,
favorite Spice Girl?
oh no, back in the day it was Ginger Spice.
Yeah, Jerry.
Jerry Halliwell.
Yeah,
Um,
Jerry.
yeah, I
Oh,
think she was everyone's.
baby. I mean, baby. Emma Bunton.
All
Is that
right,
what
Emma
her?
Bunton. No, Baby Spice never did for me. Gary Spice. What was her name? Mel B,
And
I
then
think it
lo
was.
and behold, as they get older, Victoria Beckham, you're like, oh, why didn't I notice her? It's like,
Yeah, but see now she's a bit like Angelina Jolie.
yeah,
Too skinny,
that was
too stretched, too.
posh.
Yes, she was apparently the posh one.
Yeah, okay.
And for those of you,
Supermodel of the five.
well, yeah, but for those of you joining us, this should give you the perfect introduction to who we are.
Yeah, I am Matt. That is Rich. We are fiction authors, but first and foremost, we are movie fans. And this is our new movie podcast YouTube show channel. It is called Second Draft Cinema. So it is a play on words, but it's also kind of apt because in writing, our second draft is our rewrites. So a lot of the time, you have your first draft, you just get the story out, you get it down on paper, you're just like, whew, I'm done. And then a lot of the time, the second draft, you will go through and fix a lot of things and do all your rewrites. And that was
Says
kind of
you.
the, I'm sorry if I do like proper
No.
writers.
What I meant was that's how you do a second draft.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
I
No,
don't
but the whole
believe in them.
so the whole idea is that Rich and I have done this podcasting thing together before, and we love movies, but we've always been more of the behind the scenes kind of stuff. Well, when him and I watch movies together, we inevitably bring up the writing side of things and the directing side of things, as in, what would we do differently? Oh, they nailed that. That's amazing. Let's explore that even deeper. Like, let's go into long tangents about it. But a lot of it is poor casting choices, missed opportunities with the scene itself, the writing, SFX. There's so much stuff that we as fans and as, I guess, I don't like saying content creators, but we kind of are, even though it's not the same kind of content creators as like a social media content creator, but we do create content.
Well, unfortunately, everything creative that you put out
You're a
is
content creator.
content.
Yeah. So
Doesn't matter what
you
you're doing;
have
it's
created.
all content. It's
Yeah.
just whether or not you think of it as a dirty word.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, yeah. I mean, it's granted now we're on YouTube, so we are really, we're trying to do a YouTube thing. So it is content creating. So I guess we have to kind of push that aside and go, yes, we are.
Content creation. Woo!
Yay. Yay. But so
And
yeah,
there was
the whole
much.
idea is we go ahead.
I was just going to say, and there was much rejoicing. Yay!
Yay. Yeah, so the whole idea is we wanted to start this up again. We went on a long hiatus from before when I had my son and just busy in life. But him and I have been wanting to get back into this, and we wanted to attack it from a new angle. And in this case, we are doing what I think is a very unique way of doing this. I don't know many other shows that are going to do it the way we're doing it, but it is a real-time movie commentary. So Mystery Science Theater 4000.
So, are we bringing in the robots now or later?
I am a robot.
Man, if you were a proper robot, you'd be doing way better with your writing.
I would be the AI.
You are the AI.
I can tell you what books I wouldn't be training myself on.
Let me guess. R.F. Blackstone's and Richard F. Patterns.
Man, I wish AI was getting trained with my books. And maybe they are. That means I'm kind of a big deal if that's the case.
Oh, you didn't hear about? I think it was Meta. They got dinged for training their AI on a bunch of author. Like, tell you, and I
without
looked it
their
up.
permission. Yeah,
I looked at. I think it was New York Times. One of them created this thing where you could search to see if your books had, and R.F. Blackstone, Richard F. Patton, they were on there, and I even checked.
Pretty much everyone is.
Your unseen books were included in that list too. So yes, you've been used to train AI.
Maybe I'm sleeping on that series.
No, because if you put out more, they'll be stolen by Meta to use to train their AI model.
That is true. So the whole idea of this show is we were trying to figure out a way to have you guys watch a movie with us without us getting dinged for copyright. So the problem with that is we can't physically show the movie that we are reacting to because it's copywritten. So the idea is in the description of the show, if everybody has at least peeked at it before turning on the episode, the idea is you at home need to have a copy of the movie. And a lot of the movies that we will be watching are available on all the streaming sites. They're on Prime, they're on Netflix, they're on Disney Plus, they're everywhere. Or you can, get a copy on, whatever, buy a copy on any platform that you wish. But the whole idea is we will have a graphic pop up that counts down to when you at home need to hit play. And the idea is that you are going to hit play at the same time we are going to hit play, and we are going to watch a movie together. We're going to talk about it in real time as if we're on the couch with the viewers. So you and I came up with this concept, trying to figure out a way to make this like super cool and unique without us just talking about the movie itself. Because we always talk about when we watch movies, why aren't we recording this? Because we have some of our best conversations about these movies while we're just watching them.
Oh, our best, our worst. It's the gamut.
It really is. It is. So yeah, we wanted to give this a go. And so it's real-time movie commentary. And this is Dino Season, SZN. For all
You're
you
very proud
kids
of
out
that,
there.
aren't you?
I am. So full disclosure, the only movie I'm excited about is Jurassic World 4 coming up. So
it's not called that.
It's called Rebirth. I know, Jurassic World Rebirth.
Thank you.
But it's JW4.
Thank you.
It's the 4th JW movie, so it's JW4. Just like The Lost World will always be Jurassic Park 2.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. That title just sucks.
Because then they did Jurassic Park 3, and we're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, The Lost World, Jurassic Park 3. What happened?
Yeah, but it's not even just The Lost World. It is The Lost
World,
Jurassic Park. You just Steve Bubala, what'd you do?
Technically, was that Crichton or Steve that made that decision?
No, that was Steve because he wanted to because they did the Lost World reference at the end with the T-Rex running rampant from the other Conan Doyle story.
Yeah,
he decided we'll call it The Lost World, and then Crichton went, "Oh, I'm gonna do that too."
Yeah. So in saying that, I guess we can do real quick set up our viewing schedule. So our plan is to do 2 episodes a month. So every other week we're going to release an episode. That is just time constraints for Rich and me. It's just recording these and getting them out in a timely manner to where it's not rushed. And so our plan is 2 episodes a month. So every other week you guys are going to get a new show on YouTube. And right now we decided why not with Jurassic World Rebirth coming out, and just movies that we both really love to talk about. Why don't we start with, we run the gauntlet of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
It also helps that at the moment we've both been in a dinosaur mindset.
Yes. I've been on an extended dinosaur binge, if nobody's been following my work. But and Rich is,
and if you haven't, why not?
That's also true. Why not? Why not? So
this man needs as much money as he can get from you people.
Also true. Also true. So
I could do with some pity money too, but that's a different story.
So yes, obviously we are starting with, as the title of the episode says, we will be starting with Jurassic Park, 1993's Jurassic Park. And these are going to be fun because a lot of these movies we know that everyone has seen multiple times. So it is one of those movies where you can kind of just like sit back, relax, and enjoy it without having to really super focus on the movie itself. Because that's why, like, you and I, when we watch movies together, we usually don't watch movies we haven't seen 100 times.
And if we do, and if it is a movie we haven't seen, we're both actively going, okay, shut the hell up, let us watch. And then if it's a train wreck movie like the classic Prisoners of the Sun,
that is a classic train wreck. Yes.
Yeah, that's what we should do for the show, because
I'll never forget action hero Doug.
No, archaeologist Doug.
Yeah. And the actor was on Baywatch, which is weird. But
hey. Hasselhoff was on Baywatch, and he has a great singing career in Germany.
It's true. It's anyways. Yes.
Well, ultimate conversation stopper. It is just mentioned Hasselhoff. He's singing career in Berlin, in Germany, and no one has anything else to add.
So the idea is you at home will be prompted to hit play. The word will be real big right across the screen. We'll have a countdown from 3. As soon as you see that word play, hit play at home, and you'll sync up right with us. So conversational wise, you'll know exactly what we're talking about when it's happening without having to actually see our screen. So that's
and unfortunately we can't, like, we'll interact with each other, but we can't interact with you at home. That is sorry for the streak of white. That was one of the cats. That's
funny. That cat was moving fast. Streak of light like that.
Oh, that's Alfredo. He's the kid, and he yeah. So chances are we will have guest stars of my pets.
That's funny. That's awesome. So I guess without further ado, we get this train rolling, and sit back, relax, and let's have some fun with Jurassic Park.
And remember, hold on to your butts.
I held on to my butt right there.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Hey, what are you doing, Fredo?
So let's get this out of the way. The very, very first thing we need to talk about as this movie rolls in is there a better series of movies with worse openers than...
Oh, no. This opening right now.
No. I'm just talking cumulatively as a series.
Well, no, because what is it? Jurassic World 2, Fallen Kingdom. That's a brilliant opener.
Yeah, I know, but this is the only other good one.
No, JP3, because that is story setup. So it's a good opening.
The setup kind of sucks. You have the screechy toddler who's playing a young teen boy.
I know, but in J
and you have the guy at the boat going, yeah.
I know, but that's all story. That's all story related. So that's a prologue. So it is a good opener.
No, it's a good opener. It was executed badly. I just think it was.
You leave Joe Johnson alone.
Everything else about the movie was fun. Oh, look at that spaz shotgun right there. Oh man.
Now, is that spaz as in the type of? Well, of course it's a real man. It's Bob Peck. It's Bob Peck. Come on.
SPAS 12 spaz.
Right. Oh yeah. So
spaz stands for something, but it's
Russian, isn't it?
No, I think it's like Belgian or Austrian or something.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah,
I'd probably say it's going to be Austrian. I don't think the French would name something spaz, although they do have the farmers. I mean, honestly, this is like for a billionaire who, always claimed they spared no expense. Clearly, he spared expense with setting up this delivery system.
Yeah, I like
Everything
how
else.
that's a consistent theme of this, that he spared no expense, and there were quite a few expenses
Oh, he cut
spared.
corners, but honestly, you've got this ravaging, savage, thinking 6 foot turkey with razor sharp cutthroat razors on its toes, and this is how you're going to put it into a cage.
Yeah,
Now, granted, I did basically steal this opening for Megaflora.
I've never stolen a thing from Jurassic Park.
Of course not. Oh no, I'll admit, I'm happy to admit all my. Actually, it's funny when I think about it. As R.F. Blackstone, Jurassic Park's had the biggest influence on my writing.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt. And wow, that Velociraptor was so strong, it moved that box that far.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This should have been automated. Like he has, what is it? Electro, the rails for the tour vehicles. That's
Yeah.
high tech. The automated systems for the tour, the mini little theater tour, the way the robots handled the eggs. This is high tech stuff. Yet you're still requiring 12 men to push it in.
I love this. The framing on Bob Peck's mouth. Shoot her!
And
And
but
how
and
many
Bob,
times have people mimicked shoot
oh yeah,
her?
but also it's Bob Peck's delivery. It's Bob Peck, just Bob Peck, like
Yeah, Bob Peck.
gone too soon. Bob
Yeah.
Peck was.
And the baggiest pants I've ever seen on a lawyer.
Well, it is the 90s.
It's true. It's true.
So let's keep that in mind. And I love it. Miguel Sandoval, the guy playing the digger.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first movie I saw him, and then suddenly, as I got older, I'm watching all these other movies, and they're going, "That's Jurassic Park digger."
Yeah, he was in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, he's a good actor.
Yeah, very good actor.
I will admit, this is some of the best like exposition for backstory. Like just then, when they cut, he's like, "Oh, why isn't Hammond here?" And he says, his daughter's divorce hearing. He's focused on that. It is so oh, what's the word I'm looking for?
I mean, it's believable.
Yeah, it is believable, but it's also like precise storytelling. The way it's scripted, like David Peoples and Michael Crichton. No, David Cope. Sorry, David Cope and Michael Crichton working together to write the script. The backstories, the exposition, it's just spot on.
Yeah.
You don't get any better than this movie for that sort of stuff, except for Beverly Hills Cop 2 when they do a whole exposition dump in a strip club.
Well, the
Seriously.
unique thing about this movie, and that's, I mean, we've talked about it, but I don't know if a lot of people know, is at this point when Crichton was writing this novel, he had already sold the rights to Spielberg. Like he was writing this book already
No,
knowing
the book
that it
was
was.
already finished. It was being
Yeah, yeah,
edited.
yeah.
It was being edited.
Well, he was in
And
talks about it because there was like, yeah.
yeah. And
So
yeah,
that's got to be a unique situation when you're writing the book and you're like, it's going to be a movie. It's probably going to be a movie. Let's like form certain. So
no,
it's going to help the movie out even more.
no, actually, like when Crichton wrote the book with in his head, he's in like I remember reading an interview where Crichton was like, "No, never intended for it to be a movie. I just write the book." And then his agent said, "This is top. This is really good stuff. You could probably get a movie deal." And it was the agent saying to Crichton, "Let's send it to Hollywood."
Yeah.
So Crichton, like unlike you and I, who when we were writing action scenes, we kind of go think cinematically.
Yeah.
He never did. Maybe that's something we should try. Not thinking cinematically.
Never.
Yeah, I know.
Won't do it. I love the
I know.
cardboard on the monitor too. I've always liked that. The
Oh,
hand
the cardboard shade.
Yeah, the shade.
Yeah.
And he was typing there, and then he turns on the monitor. So that's some wizardry right there.
Hey, this is 90s tech, baby.
90s tech. He was typing without the monitor being on. So that was. There's little things like that in this movie that are obvious, and but I still don't care. I absolutely love this movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like a massive plot hole or a continuity gap, or
No.
it adds to the charm of it being like an early 90s movie.
Yeah. The one thing that did kind of it didn't ruin things for me, but it was one
Mhm.
of those things where mostly because I'm into dinosaurs and I understand as the years go by, there's big leaps in technology and discovery. Like what they're doing now with this science that they're doing, where they're shooting that shell into the ground with the radar,
Yeah.
the ground penetrating radar stuff. The Velociraptor is not this big. It
But
never
yeah,
was.
but that was
And
something
Velociraptor was never found in the Badlands of Montana.
I know. I know.
Velociraptor was only found in the Mongolia area in Asia,
I know. But keep in
in
mind,
China and Mongolia.
Michael Crichton, king of the Man versus Technology books, actively went out of his way to create a terrifying bipedal dinosaur.
I know, in Utah Raptor isn't all that.
Well, the name Utah Raptor does not inspire fear.
No, it
But you
doesn't.
hear, but you hear,
Velociraptor. Yeah.
no, say it properly. Let's do it properly. You gotta go, Velociraptor.
Velociraptor.
You know,
And
I do,
Velociraptor was five,
yeah,
six,
it
seven
was,
feet
it
long.
was the
Could
size of a
fight.
dog.
Yeah, it was 40, 45 pounds.
Yeah, the
It
size of
wasn't
like a
6 feet
small
tall
dog.
and 160 or
Yeah,
whatever these things weighed, 180.
but I mean, what do you think of the theory that this kid, like, it's the fan theory, this kid grows up to become?
Oh, Owen
I mean,
Grady.
what do you like? Do you agree with that? What's your?
Well, considering it's a fan theory, no. But is it fun? Yeah. It's very fun. Because if it was Owen Grady, that should have been part of Owen's introduction, like backstory. There should have been something, like the
No, no, you
the
don't. You don't.
bungalow, the
No, no,
bungalow
no,
introduction with
no,
Bryce
no,
Dallas
no. When
Howard.
you now the way if you're going to make that canon in Dominion, what you do is Dominion when the two meet for the first time.
Oh, and yeah, they could say,
That's when you do
I've
that's
met you once
that's when you
before.
do the callback in
Yeah,
that one moment. Because for the first two movies, people are going, "Is it? Isn't it?" Then the third movie, you get the definitive. Here's the moment.
yeah. The only thing I was thinking was because when Bryce Dallas Howard says, like whatever she says, like we need to talk, and he goes, "What, like here or in my bungalow?" And she goes, "That's not funny." And he goes, "It's kind of funny." You know, like if there was a scene where they went into the bungalow, like they're about to do, where they go into the trailer, and there was a memorabilia piece, there was a
but But
something
see,
that
then
would connect
that's
it.
also like in Jurassic Park, in Dominion, where you're in Dodson's how we call it,
Yeah,
office, and you see the Barbasol can. It's the throwaway that if you're not looking at the background, it doesn't matter.
dude, it took me on my second watch of Dominion to realize that the agent at the beginning of this movie that we're about to
Dodson,
see is Dodson.
yeah, I
Like
know,
I didn't put two and two together
I
because
know.
it's 6 movies
It
apart.
was so like we'll get more into it when we.
Undersold. It was so undersold.
Oh no, there was no. It's very much like what do you call it? It was not undersold. It was underwritten
Yeah.
because
Okay.
your introduction to Dodson in that movie, it's literally him talking to you like it's a corporate video with his name popping up at the bottom. But all we know about Dodson is literally this brief moment in this movie with Dennis Nedry, and that's it. And nobody cares.
Yeah, they are relying on the people that have read the book,
And
and
even yeah, that's it. You know,
they are. They are. And even
which
then,
which is
the book,
wrong.
the book is, you know, 32 years old. So it's like,
Well, see,
you know,
I listened to the unabridged audio book of this when I was living in Mexico, traveling around because I was getting ready to write Kaiju World.
did they have somebody pretty big or unique do
No,
the voice? It was
nope,
just somebody.
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm
Do the
listening
voice.
to it, and the book is good. It's a horror movie. It's a straight up
Oh yeah.
creature feature horror.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
it was the sort of thing I'm there going, it's a great thing that James Cameron always said that, he wanted he got the galley, so the preview copy of the book before it was released, and he wanted to do it, and he found out Spielberg had beat him to the punch. he sees Spielberg's movie and he goes, "Oh, I'm so glad Spielberg got it instead of me," because Cameron, and he said he was just going to go straight R-rated horror.
Hang on. Okay, everybody, you see that thing hanging on the wall between them? That is called a dust buster. Those were really, really popular back in
So,
the day.
so are you betting on younger people watching this and not people
Just-
our age or older?
No, I love the movies that are, in this case, dated now because they are 3 decades old. I like looking in the background at the props in this case. Like Moet, they're drinking Moet champagne. That's still normal. Elmer's glue, I can see like an old label.
But what gets
Like,
me though is the glasses he's picked, and then on the microwave you can see actual champagne glasses.
and he says he knows his way around the kitchen. I know. It's
See,
great.
it's not even that no. This shows his character already, which is he's cutting corners. He grabbed the first glasses that he could.
Or he's so rich he doesn't care too.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure it's more a case of he grabbed the first glasses he could. It's that. It's a character thing. At least that's how I read it.
Strange cat cutout up there. I see
the Leontology review.
No, the Brontosaurus.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah, behind Laura. Yeah, behind Laura.
That's probably a foreshadow to the Brachiosaurus scene.
No, it doesn't have the bump on the head.
Well, from here it's hard to tell, but it's the vertical neck is what I was getting at. But yeah, I guess the front legs aren't longer than the back legs, so that can't be a Brachie.
No.
But it might not be a Brontosaurus either because they're still undecided if that's a real dinosaur or not.
No, it probably was a Brontosaurus because you could buy Brontosaurus toys.
No, but Brontosaurus in the scientific community, Brontosaurus is basically the planet Pluto.
No, what I'm getting at is back when this movie came out.
Oh yeah, you could buy Brontosaurus. Yeah, I have.
So it's probably a Brontosaurus.
See, my girls have a Brontosaurus.
It's a Brontosaurus.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Back then it was a Brontosaurus. Now Brontosaurus is the planet Pluto. Although I think they just said that Brontosaurus is back as a dinosaur after new discoveries, after it got taken away as a dinosaur after I don't know.
And for the greater population of the world, see, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. see, nobody cares. Nice hat. Wayne Knight. Was there a better gets under your skin actor of the generation? Wayne Knight was so good at everything. Obviously, we knew him as Newman from Seinfeld, but I know him at Toy Story 2, Al's from Al's Toy Barn.
Yeah.
The voice. Wayne Knight was so good. He did a lot of voiceover. He still does a ton of voiceover, actually. Here it is, the squeal. Oh, no, the squeal's coming up, but...
No, it's when he does the
Barbasol.
The actual,
No, where it pops.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Here we go.
You can buy those. I really want one. I want a Barbasol with that unscrews. There it is. Did they use that as part of the Dilophosaurus?
No.
They showed
no, the Dilophosaurus, it's a
is that the howler
it's two
monkey?
Animals. No, it's a dolphin.
That's right.
And a swan.
It's right. The howler monkey is part of the T-Rex, I think, isn't it?
No, you're right. No, it's the Dilophosaurus is the three. It's a dolphin. It's a swan mixed with the howler monkey.
Yeah, mixed with the howler monkey. Yeah, because there is an underlying. There is an underlying.
A bit of a rattlesnake for the
vibrato. Yeah,
for the fins.
Yes.
I love it in the second movie, the baby T-Rex. It's literally just a baby camel calling for its mum.
That's awesome. And then the movie to sequel character development of Ian Malcolm was really, really off-putting, really strange.
And then you go from that to him in Jurassic World 2, where he's now got the beard and he's a bit more, he's still serious. Then back to Dominion, where he's just Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum stopped acting in 2003.
What happened in 2003?
I don't know. He just became Jeff Goldblum. He just stopped acting.
Oh, you mean it's the Johnny Depp. It's Johnny Depp syndrome.
Yeah, he just said, it's your favorite. It's the Roger Moore syndrome.
Yeah.
It's the James Bond doesn't exist. It's just Roger Moore in a suit.
Yeah.
That's a soft spot for Mr. Rich.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing we don't any Roger Moore movies on
too soon. like the fall of the Roman Kingdom or Roman Empire for some people. You can't talk about it; it's too soon.
Oh no, we can talk about Roger Moore as the crappiest James Bond ever.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I grew up watching him. Like that was obviously we're a Pierce generation, but I grew up even earlier than that watching
Oh, my
Roger
my,
Moore
my
because that was
first Bond movie, like my first experience with a Bond movie was Sean Connery's Thunderball.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand a lot of it, but I knew who Sean Connery was because of Dragonheart.
The first Bond movie I ever saw, I think, was Moonraker.
Right.
Which is a good introduction for a young boy because it's space, it's like flamboyant, it's over the top, the costumes, Jaws. It's like it's so out there.
It's
so
not a
out.
good movie.
No, it doesn't matter. For a kid, for like a 7 or 8 year old, it was an amazing movie with all the
If you want
lasers.
to, when you're 7, 8, okay, when I was 7, 8, you know what? If I wanted to watch a space movie, you know what I would watch?
Star Wars.
Yes.
My parents didn't like Star Wars.
Oh, you poor boy.
They weren't Star Wars people.
Oh, that explains so much about you, sir.
Even now, it's like Star Wars was cool for a couple years since the originals. You know, it was cool.
Yeah,
It was cool while it lasted.
I saw a great thing on Instagram, a great reel on Instagram today about Star Wars because May the 4th and all that.
Yeah,
and
Revenge of the Fifth.
No, it was this guy comes in and says, "Hey, happy Star Wars Day, and the other guy goes, "Oh, I forgot about that. So we're gonna watch he goes, "Do you want to watch binge some Star Wars?" He goes, "Okay, yeah. What do you think?" And goes back and forth, and it goes basically, let's go to the OT trilogy. And the other guy goes, "Oh, Old Testament, nice, yeah. I'm kind of burnt out on New Testament, which is the prequels." And then he says this, and then he finishes with, "Same with the Book of Mormon, which is the sequel trilogy." and I saw that, I just went, "Oh, that's the best way to describe them."
It really is.
Yeah, Old Testament, New Testament, Book of Mormon.
And if I'm not mistaken, I know one of these Jeeps is the Jeep from Jurassic World too. I think it's 29 because it's the same decal that's hanging from the one that the boys fix and drive off with. It's the same number decal. I think it's 029, but
okay.
I can't remember.
If you say so.
We'll find out in a few weeks.
Like a month.
We don't know when we're actually going to record the episode.
Oh no, there you go. Yeah, that's JP29.
Yeah,
and that's what 2.
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not 8. Yeah, it's not 18. But one of the like this, and obviously, personally, the greatest sequence in film history, T-Rex Breakout. This was cool. I remember the first time I saw this as a kid. I was 9 when this movie came out, and I saw it in theaters. Well, I saw the first half of it in theaters, and then I cried and we left.
So you had the perfect opportunity to become Batman in our reality, and you missed it.
Yeah. Here's the Bracky. It is amazing score.
It's John Williams. What can you say? It's funny though. In 2015, the live touring arena show of Walking with Dinosaurs came to Australia. So my dad, myself, mum, dad, myself, and at the time my fiance, we went to see it. She was visiting from Mexico. We went to see it, and we're pulling into the car park, and I just start going.
Yeah.
And everyone joined in, and from that point on, we were all in the mood for dinosaurs.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so right there, it comes down, and the camera shakes, yet they don't.
I mean, it's not really there.
No, but if the camera shakes when it lands, they should shake too.
Yeah.
Because you
Well,
hear the
I
sound of
think
the
they
trees shaking.
realized. I think they were very like months after finishing filming this movie when they realized that, so they put in the camera shake in the studio, in the editor's room. I'm assuming.
See, this is why we need to get we need to get someone from the actual making of the movie to be on here with us.
Yeah.
To listen to us just carry on like idiots.
Not carrying on like idiots. This is what we do when we watch movies. I don't know what to tell you. This is
Oh no! When we were doing Armchair Directors afterwards, if
all
any of
good.
my family were in the area and they listened, they would say, "Dude, no one should listen to your show. You talk crap all the time."
There's Elvis, the Pompadour.
Nah, I rather fry a tuck.
Friar Tuck is a Pachycephalosaurus.
I know,
That's a Parasaurolophus.
but they had a bunch of different dinosaurs there.
Well, Pachy's weren't there. There were no Pachy's there.
How do you know? Have you paused and actually studied what dinosaurs were there?
Would you be
Because the
surprised
Pachy's
if I have paused that and looked?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like how they're wearing pink shirts. They should probably
Who?
change that. The guys opening the doors, like the stewards, they were wearing pink shirts with khakis.
Oh yeah.
And I love how the lawyer puts on shorts, but he's still wearing his stupid jacket.
Well, yeah, he's got to be got to be professional, but also
Gennaro.
he's relaxed. He's relaxed, professional. But also, it just shows how big an idiot and a dork he is.
True.
But you know,
I mean, Ian's also wearing a leather jacket and
yeah, he's dressed all in black off the coast of Costa Rica, which is tropical.
Yeah,
he should be guzzling water.
And this was Hawaii, right?
It was filmed in Hawaii, yes.
Yeah, so
well, like exteriors were, and then interiors were studio.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to make this movie today, who would you cast? And it's today.
Oh man,
you've got all the resources, all the money.
Honestly, because he was so good in Twisters, I would say Glenn Powell. And I know Glenn Powell's like kind of the next Chris Pratt.
Who would he be?
He would be Sam Neill for me because he's got the charisma, he's got the leadership, he's got the likability, he's got the charm, he's handsome.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn would be closer to Chris Pratt, Owen Grady as far as more of the action hero star, where Alan is just more of the
everyman.
The dad presence. Like,
well, Alan Grant is the everyman character.
Yeah. But
no, I can see. Okay, I can see that. Okay, so then do the rest.
Because Glenn was so good in Twisters as the tornado, meteorologist guy, and he played that gritty kind of hero, but not hero because he wasn't like a badass military guy.
Okay, who's Ellie?
Well, they need to be 20 years younger than Glenn Powell. So how old is that?
Oh, he's like what?
He's like 30, he's like 36. Okay, so she needs to be like 16. No.
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, you want to talk about I feel bad at casting Glenn Powell and everything. Let's just cast Sydney Sweeney and everything for two very specific reasons.
She and Glenn have worked together. They had a relatively popular remake of adaptation of Much Ado About Nothing. So they've got chemistry. So that works.
I don't buy her as a paleo button.
Did you buy Denise Richards as a nuclear scientist?
No, I did not actually. Not even for a little bit. I still enjoyed the hell out of her performance, but it wasn't because she was.
But that's it. In the modern version of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, but you're asking. It's a Bond girl. The Bond girl has a very specific, they're not technically supposed to be taken seriously, especially that era of Bond girl.
Well, unless you're the villainess.
Well, yeah.
But okay, so
and
if you're not casting Sydney Sweeney, If you're not going to cast Sydney Sweeney as Ellie Sattler, who do you cast?
Honestly, if I could see oh crap. From Emma.
Oh,
Emma.
Anya Taylor.
No. Gwen Stacy.
Emma Stone.
Yeah, I could see someone like that because she's a great actress too, but she also has. I like her. Just her on-screen attitude a lot of the times really nice.
I'd actually pick someone like Thomasin McKenzie.
Yeah.
You don't know who that is.
No, I don't, but that's such a great line.
I know.
I remember when I was a kid, I had no idea what autoerotica was.
Oh no, that line always went over my head. And then I'm watching it with mum and dad one night, and I finally heard it. I paused the movie. I said to them, "Did you just hear what Geraro said?" And they said, "No." I said, "Rewound it." I said, "Listen to what he says." And they just erupted in laughter. It's one of those things like if you're not really paying attention to what he says.
Yeah. The problem with this movie is it's like some of the other movies that we've tried to recast over the years. It's such an iconic movie that it's really hard to see anyone ever playing these characters besides them.
Well, see, no, I can see Glenn Powell as Alan Grant. Yeah. I can kind of see Emma Stone as Ellie, but who's Malcolm?
Kevin Hart. No, I don't know.
Piss off. No DEI hires.
No DEI hires.
If you're going to cast Kevin Hart, then you might as well have the Rock be Alan Grant.
Henry Wu could be Stephen Young.
Okay.
Young.
Now, who's John Hammond?
Because he's Asian, but John Hammond.
Oh, that's easy. Brian Cox.
Oh, I was going to say because he's going to be Dumbledore, John Lithgow, and then he can just pretend to have an accent.
No, Brian Cox.
Brian Cox would work.
Okay, now who's Muldoon?
Ooh, Bob Peck. Who's going to replace Bob Peck? You know what? I think there's someone in. I can see the actor, I think, but I can't. Something popped up as soon as you said that. Now I'm trying to picture who I was just thinking of.
Oh, for me, it could be someone like Paddy Considine.
I don't know who that is.
He's a British actor. Okay, Hot Fuzz. One of the two Andys in Hot Fuzz.
Okay.
Not the one who was in.
How about this?
Kingdom.
He's older now, but a younger Vinnie Jones.
Oh, so you might as well then just go Tom Hardy.
Well, I just think of Sphinx from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, but the problem is probably. Oh,
Tom Hardy would be cool.
Tom Hardy or Jason Statham. Imagine Statham going, "Clever girl."
Yeah, but Jason.
Tom Hardy would actually.
Jason wouldn't let the Velociraptor kill him though.
No, Tom Hardy would work. Actually, Tom Hardy would be better as Roland Tembo.
Oh, from JP2. Yeah.
Yeah, he would be better. Now, but here's the big question. If you're doing a remake, do you try to capture the awe and the childlike wonder and the joy of this movie, or do you lean hardcore in the horror of the original novel?
If you're going to remake this movie, I think you need to change the...
So you lean hardcore into the horror?
Or you just dig deeper into like the chilling suspense at least. So
yeah, which is still... It's still the horror. You're still going horror. Yeah. Now,
I wouldn't necessarily say like horror in the classical sense of horror, meaning like a lot of people when they think horror, they think like blood and guts and gore.
No, but the book is very suspenseful. It is more suspenseful, and then that's what. Okay. Now, here's the question about
remakes. The hardest question is who are you going to recast as Ian Malcolm? That's replacing Jeff Goldblum. I mean, he's so Jeff. Like that's the problem is he's not acting. He's just being himself.
He's still acting here.
Kinda.
You need someone with a rock and roll swagger. Because that's how Ian Malcolm is. He thinks of himself as a mathematic rock star. So
give me a rock star. He even says it on the helicopter.
Yeah. So you got to cast someone with that. You get Russell Brand.
I mean, I think he recently got in some trouble. But I like Russell Brand as far as the personality. I think he's.
I got a better Ian Malcolm for you.
He was really good in Bedtime Stories with Adam Sandler.
Jimmy Carr. Now you get Jimmy Carr to do it.
Jimmy Carr is Muldoon.
Oh,
that would just be funny.
No, I still like Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy. See, that's the thing. If we're going more in the suspense, you've got to tone down Malcolm a little bit.
Yeah, because his personality would just pull people out of the movie.
Yeah, so that's why you can't do Kevin Hart.
No. Yeah. No, that was just. Yeah, but who would you cast? So if you're going to go harder and you're going to go more serious, then and if you want to keep just classic black actor, is Idris Elba.
For who?
For Sammy Jackson.
Oh no, that's too small a role for Idris.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson, but he wasn't a star at this point.
Yeah, I know he wasn't.
That's the thing. So
yeah, if you're pulling that, yeah, but you're giving Tom Hardy a role that he's in the movie for less than half the movie.
Yeah, but it's the perfect role for him.
Yeah,
Idris Elba. I cannot see Idris Elba as a computer nerd.
I could see him depending on. He could be a cool computer nerd.
No. Idris Elba would be actually a really good Malcolm in this version. I could see him being more a Malcolm.
See, now this is where a good YouTube host goes, hey, people watching at home, comment.
Put in your comments.
In the comments, who would you recast as some? No, you don't have to do the whole cast. So like some of the actors that are just standing here, the characters standing here, not the actors, who would you like to see as, Alan Grant, as Muldoon, as Ian Malcolm, as John Hammond, as Ellie? Like who would you...
This is the sort of thing you've got to... You don't say it no, we're still early in the episode. You got to do it at the end of the episode.
No, they're standing right here. We're talking about it.
I know, but people won't remember. By the end of the show, they're not going to remember this.
You know what? You host your show. I'll host my show.
Okay.
No, don't. No.
Yeah, leave
you looked into this. What exactly is Chilean sea bass?
His pronunciation of it. That's the issue. Because you kind of hear...
I thought it was chili and sea bass for literally decades.
Me too.
For 20-something years. I'm like, who's eating chili? And like, that doesn't look like chili and sea bass. What are they? No. Where's the chili?
Yep. No, I thought it was spicy seafood.
Queso underneath this chicken.
I know. But so it's a fake recipe. It's
fake recipe.
Okay, it is Chilean. So it's supposed to be
Chilean.
Sea bass that is from the Chile region. And there's another YouTuber, Binging with Babish. He does recreations of movie and TV show dishes.
Yeah.
And he did this. He actually found there is a Jurassic Park. So the park has a fake website and they have the menu for the restaurant and it's on there and he recreated it. And it actually looked pretty good. I'm not a seafood guy. But actually,
and he said it was really difficult because there was really no culture in South
Chile.
America.
Chile does not have a big seafood presence.
No, especially sea bass. And you're like,
Also, sea bass is actually extremely expensive.
Yeah. Well, it fits.
Spare no expense.
It was just it fits.
I kind of want to write a book called like a creature feature book and call
Chili
it Spare
and
No
Sea Bass.
No, Spare No Expense.
I thought it was going to be Chilean sea bass.
Attack of the Chilean sea bass.
Chilean. Oh,
well, that's how. But that's the thing.
Attenborough's accent screwed me up so bad because, when I worked at Total Wine for 5 years, and there's Pisco, and you have
it's what
Pisco. It's liquor. Anyways,
okay. I'll take your word for it.
It's made from anise, or no, that's aguardiente. Anyways, Pisco. It's a liquor that's made, and it's Peruvian and Chilean, and
Chilean. It's Chilean.
Chilean. Well, you would have people asking for it, and I would always make sure that I pronounce it Chilean because usually people that are asking for Pisco are people from South America. So if you call it Chilean, they're going to look at you like you're a moron. White kid from Florida who's,
Dude, growing up watching this movie, you just go Chilean. Now move to
No,
Mexico.
I thought it was Chile, and I did not.
I know.
I never once thought it was the country of Chile.
Oh no, I was the same as you,
Ever.
but I
Ever.
mean, move to Mexico. All right, go to a South like a American Spanish speaking country. Watch this movie with a bunch of them, and it gets to him saying that line, and watch everyone lose their.
Yeah,
Are we swearing on this?
Minds.
Yep.
Let's not swear.
Okay, so I'll beep it out. I'll beep it out in post.
Well, you didn't. You just said shh. You didn't.
Well, they lose their.
I tell my kids to shh all the time.
They lose their minds over Attenborough's pronunciation because he's supposed to be Scottish.
Why wasn't he just English?
Because in the book, the character is Scottish.
Yeah, man, Scottish. Oh yeah, because he does say from Glasgow. Yeah, he came over from Glasgow and did the flea circus.
Yes, the flea circus. Yeah. And what are we drinking today?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me load.
No, I want to know, what are we drinking?
That is Eldorado 15-year-old rum. Mostly because I have 3 decanters down here, and 2 of them look they're both dark liquors, and I'm like,
you got a label.
No, because I refill them with other stuff. It's never the
same. Well,
no.
You like where you the shelf you put them on. Put a little label that you can peel out, or it's whiteboard material.
Yeah, whiteboard label. Yeah.
See, I'm just drinking. You don't have Solo over there, do you?
No.
Basically, it's like a little squash soda.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I got to drive later, so I can't drink.
Yeah, it's also like 14-hour difference, so it's late here, and
that's only 1:43 here p.m.
It's 11.
I can drink.
It's 11:43 p.m. here the day before. It's still the 5th. It's still the 5th here.
Yeah.
And if nobody knows, Richard, that glorious accent is not fake. He is in Australia. So.
See, you know what I would love? This sort of movie, but it's Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin going to dinosaurs.
Steve Irwin should be more Dune.
No, just Steve Irwin be Steve Irwin.
No, he should be the game warden. You know, hilarious.
No.
Boys, you gotta look out.
No. It's this. He's the one taking you on the.
That's a clever girl.
No, he's taking everyone on the tour. He's the tour guide, and he goes into the pen.
You know who plays Tambo in the second book or in the second movie? Paul Hogan. You go from Steve Irwin to Paul Hogan. Oh my God, that would be great. That would be such a like.
Unfortunately, both of them are dead,
and both of them were terrible representations of Australia when it came to like normal regular Aussies.
There's no such thing. I'm sorry. There's no such thing as a normal regular Aussie. But just imagine if like a Steve, like you're writing this sort of story.
And I love those guys. I loved Steve Irwin and Paul Hogan. They were like, as a kid, they were great.
But just imagine you're writing this sort of story. You got the theme park, you got the dinosaurs, and you decide your tour guide, the person taking everyone around, is literally a Steve Irwin type of character from Australia. The whole thing, and you get to the part we say the T-Rex, and he's there. He goes, "Oh, she ain't coming out. Let me go get her." He goes in through a door. Everything shakes, rattles, and then suddenly he comes out with his T-Rex just trailing behind him. He's patting his nose, going, "Oh, she's a beauty, isn't she?" You know, he should
have like
riding on her,
saddle.
But it's this. He goes, he appears with her. He appears with a Rex. He climbs down. He goes, "So this is Rexy. Now she's got a bite force of the sort of thing that can tear me from limb to limb. She's dangerous. Now I'm going to stick my finger up her cloaca." Oh, she's angry. She's angry.
Yeah. We're going to poke her in the eye.
It's just, and then so these are the velociraptors. They're the most dangerous critters we have here in the park. I'm going to hop in there and pat it.
Yeah.
Now, you see that claw? That's razor sharp. It can tear me up.
I'm gonna play hide the sausage.
No. Oh no, he would never do anything like that. It was always just sticking his finger up the cloaca. That was the joke out here.
Yeah.
But just imagine, but just take it to the next level. That the story
Wait.
would just be elevated.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Okay, right there. If you're at home, I just saw a meme of this today. You pause it when you can see all three of Ellie, Ian, and Alan looking up through the glass. Ian and Alan are like, "Uh-oh, what are we doing?" Ellie is grinning ear to ear, and there was this great meme of we're gonna die. Oh no, we're gonna die, and then Ellie going, "They're gonna die." It's
Oh yeah,
like,
because of the was it
woman.
God creates dinosaurs, dinosaur dies, God creates man, man creates dinosaur, dinosaurs eat man, woman
Woman
inherits the
inherits.
earth,
Yeah,
and they both
exactly.
look at her.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this great meme I saw. I'm like, oh, this
I'm
was a
sorry,
great non-introduction to the dinosaurs.
oh no, it was and
It was great
for kids it was perfect. For kids it was perfect, and I have
because
to
you
admit,
kind of started to get a sense of like the impending doom
yeah, and
as the movie ramps up.
yeah, and I have to admit, I'm still got the Steve Irwin running a Jurassic Park in my head.
I'd love to see it. But Samuel L. Jackson has to be the guy on the PA system for the park.
Oh, instead of Richard Kelly, yeah.
Yeah, it has to be Samuel L. Jackson is on the PA doing all of like the announcements.
But see, do you know who Richard Kiley was? That voice?
Not really, no.
So he's a Broadway star. He was a big American Broadway star. He originated the role
Yeah,
of
I
Miguel
know the
Cervantes.
name, but I don't know like
But like his biggest role was originating the role of Miguel Cervantes slash Don Quixote in the musical Man of La Mancha. So it shows how old Hammond is to say, now who's the voice of Richard Kiley? It's like, this is a great thing.
Yeah, there was a I used to watch I still watch like the clips on Facebook. What is it? The shorts of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh yes.
And when they would do like impressions,
Yeah.
I think it was Wayne Brady would always do these
Yeah.
impressions, and somebody would come out and goes, "Hey, do you know any impressions from this century?" Because he would always do these really old classic actors. Dude, Bob
Yep.
Peck. Oh, the legs and the socks, those wool socks, the short shorts.
But it's also the
It's
presence.
1993. I get it, but oh
It's
my
also the
god!
But see, you see that it's stupid. But the way he goes, quiet, all of you
Oh,
are
he
about to pass
commands
the
the
T-Rex.
room.
It's the presence, and yeah, he just,
Bob dominates the screen when he's on.
oh yeah,
Well,
great,
especially in
great
this
actor.
movie.
As I said, gone too soon.
Yeah, especially in this movie.
Cancer's a bitch.
That was Paul Whistle too, right?
That was what?
Peter
Oh,
Tambo.
Postlethwaite.
Postlethwaite. He died of cancer too, didn't he? Like,
I thought it was a mixture. I thought it was cancer in old age.
I didn't think he was like super old.
Yeah,
Because it wasn't. Was it? I didn't think it was like maybe.
hang on, I can tell you.
No big deal.
No, I want to know now.
Here it is. This was. I mean Spielberg being Spielberg. This camera shot. This was such a great shot with the camera focusing in and out. Like right now, it's focused on her, and then you'll see Alan turn, but it's not focused on him. There it is. Alan's smiling. Ian is like, "What?"
Yeah.
It's like,
okay, so Postlethwaite was 64 when he died, and it was testicular cancer.
yeah. So 64.
Oh no, sorry, no. 64. It was pancreatic cancer.
Yeah, 64. He was probably younger than Peck when he died. How old was Peck when he died? Because I didn't think I'll never Postlethwaite. I'll never be able to say his last name.
Postlethwaite.
Postlethwaite. Yeah, I didn't think he was. He's always looked older than he really is.
Bob Peck was 53.
Oh, wow, he was super young.
And it was never actually. It's never been disclosed what kind of cancer he had, but he got it in 94. And then he died in 99 at the age of 53.
They probably never did a proper autopsy, and they just knew it was cancer, but they never.
No.
Or
his family never.
Oh, his family just never released.
They never released it because
Gotcha.
remember, this is 99. This is British. This is not, this is a family where it's like, no, we keep it within the family.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, this
Hey,
part though, this part
hey,
with Malcolm.
John, you can turn the monitor a little.
No, I love just way Adam Burr reacts, and just then the line he has.
He's at his wit's end, and this is what he's getting on camera.
Yes. But I mean, Pete Postlethwaite was a great actor. You watch him in Lost World, then Dragonheart. See, Dragonheart was my introduction to him.
And Sean Connery. And Dennis Quaid.
And David Thewlis.
Yeah, I forgot David Thewlis.
Yeah.
Who played who was the prince?
David Thewlis.
That was David Thewlis, really?
Yes, he was the evil prince. And see, actually, let's go further. Dragonheart was my introduction to Jason Isaacs as well. Because he's in that.
Yeah, we definitely got to watch that movie on this show. That movie,
Oh,
I forgot the cast was that good.
Oh, but it's like Con Air.
But it's Dennis Quaid with the hair.
But Dennis Quaid was perfect for that movie.
Oh, Dennis Quaid was great.
But I love it. There was an interview. I saw an interview with Steve Buscemi, and they asked him about Con Air, and he said, "How's it like making Con Air, where you've got these titans of acting like Danny Trejo, John Malkovich, you've got Ving Rhames, you've got John Cusack, you got Nicolas Cage," and Buscemi goes, "Well, at the time, we were all just regular working actors. The biggest star was Nick Cage because he had just won an Oscar."
Yeah,
and he said,
Leaving Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, but it seems like for all of us, it was just a job. We none of us were starstruck. All of us were like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
And that's the same, like with Dragonheart, the biggest name was Sean Connery, and he's never on screen.
Yeah, he's never on screen. Exactly.
And this is the start of Goldblum being Goldblum. See, you want to watch a really good Goldblum perform.
That was so good. I love that scene of him just by himself explaining what's happening. Yeah, it's so good.
But
so good. And Wayne Knight right there. Pause it and look at that workstation, and you can understand. Oh,
no, I love this though. This is supposed to be a live feed. Yet in some shots, you see the QuickTime bar.
It's true. I love seeing pictures of the two kids together now, like years later, seeing them when they meet up and they see each other. It's so cool seeing
him, the kid playing Timmy. He was the best thing in Bohemian Rhapsody as John Deacon.
Yeah. And it's remarkable because a lot of child actors, when they grow up, it's like they can like significantly change.
Oh, you look at Haley Joel Osment, he looks completely different.
She looks exactly the same, just older. Like she doesn't like I could pick her out of a crowd if I ever saw her. I'm like, oh my God. Like it's like there's some where they just even a few years can change drastically.
Oh yeah.
But like he would be tough for me to figure out.
Well, yeah.
But she looks exactly the same. Well, obviously 30-something years older. But it doesn't look exactly the same. I mean, it's a little hyperbolous. Oh. Lightning Kitty.
Yes.
And then this was our first like real introduction to
dinosaurs. And I mean it's amazing.
That's awesome.
And then you get
their reactions. The actors' reactions sell this so hard.
It was the first time they'd seen it too. That was the thing. It was the first time they had seen it. So their reactions are genuine, which is what you want. And then if you were to do it nowadays, like they did with bloody Jurassic World, it would be all CGI except for one little scene.
Yeah.
And you sit there and go, come on.
Well, this is a classic. What did I just... Oh, the Fantastic Four trailer. I posted it on Facebook and I said, once again, we are going backwards with CGI.
But we had this discussion last time we watched the movie together. We had this discussion, and we can't blame the effects houses.
No,
they're not
no
fault.
Time. They don't get any time.
They have enough time.
Well, they're asked to do the impossible too. They're asked to be.
Well, no. It's
it's the entire movie.
No, but it's just, they have enough time. No, they get enough time. But then what happens? The producers the studio demand changes and they won't give
Yeah.
enough budget and enough time. That's when the issues happens. When suddenly they go, no, scrap the last half of the final act of the movie, which you've already got finished, scrap it, redo it. Great, give us more money. No, give us more time. No. That's the issue. It's the studios, it's the producers. It's not that it sucks.
Yeah.
But then there's also the argument, which I think is stupid, and they said it with the trailer for Jurassic World when it first came out. You do a comparison of how the raptors look in the trailer for Jurassic World compared to how they look in the final movie. There's a big difference, and they say the trailer version looks better because they had more time to render it out.
Yes, because they've been working on it longer.
Yeah. Same with like you know. Chances are the Fantastic Four movie, that shot of
dude, Mr. I don't think there's a way to make them so the problem is, so if anybody watches like the best movie commentary podcast is, in my opinion, is besides us. Is well, no, okay, so close number 2 is Nerdrotic, Gary at Nerdrotic, and you've watched a bunch of his stuff too. He is the best because he is just brutally honest with his takes on stuff. And he even says, he goes, look, and he's like comic books is his
wait. Sorry.
Oh. All right, now we can go.
I saw the best meme to do this, and it was this. Fans' reaction to Disney Snow White remake, and it's just that.
With no words, right? It's just the picture.
No, all it says is the big pile says Snow White, and then over at Malcolm it says audience.
Because you know what he says is that's one big pile. Yes. So what he said is, he goes, the problem with the Fantastic Four is it's so fantastic that it was never intended to be anything except a written comic.
Yeah.
Like ever. And now, granted, years ago when they were writing the comic, there was no thought of it ever becoming a movie. But the idea is, when they were writing the Fantastic Four, they went, okay, what have we done? Okay, so now we need to go to 13. We're skipping 11 and 12 and we're going to 13. So it was never meant to be possible physically. It was always meant to be so outrageous. So he goes, no, the Fantastic Four is never supposed to be able to be made a movie.
Yeah.
Like ever. And the problem is they keep trying to make it a movie and it keeps looking worse and worse and worse.
Oh, come on. I'm sorry, but Roger Corman's version, which apparently will never see the light of day, we can't really judge, but the Michael Chiklis version of the thing, that was cool with Chris Evans as
those were great. I loved those movies. Those were fun.
Those were perfect. See, you know what they were? They were perfect comic book movies. They were perfect comic book movies.
They were.
They weren't
serious, and
no, they weren't. It wasn't cinema. But my problem with the new Fantastic Four movie is very simple. It's set on a multiverse Earth. It's not set on our Earth. So it's not set on.
You're right. He had the mouse hovering over the play button.
Yeah, but you can see the timeline. But my problem with the modern Fantastic Four, it's not set on my Earth. It's set on a multiverse Earth. So I don't care if it gets blown up or not. And I care even less because it's bloody Pedro Pascal. I've had enough of him.
Yeah, thankfully they're killing him off in everything he's in.
They're not going to kill him off in Fantastic Four.
Well, he's definitely. I mean, he's going to be a forgettable character because, from what I understand, he's not the star. It's Sue Storm's movie. He's just along for the ride.
But it's Fantastic Four. You're calling it Fantastic
but it's Sue Storm's movie. Sue Storm is the lead character. He is there to like bounce ideas off of. That's why in the trailer, all of the major speaking parts are not his. He is just one of the teammates.
See, that's not how it is.
Well, no, he's supposed to be the leader of like.
Well, the thing about Fantastic Four, and they got it right in those Michael Chiklis movies. It's a team. They all have equal voices. They all have their, you can't focus on one over the other.
Yeah, they default to one another when there's a certain situation.
Yeah,
like remember at the end of Fantastic Four, they default to Johnny because he is the most powerful. Yeah, and he, oh no, that's Silver Surfer. Sorry, not
that's Silver Surfer.
Yeah, that's the second one. But they default to him. But yeah. And it's like, I know what we're supposed to be doing in this is like rewriting the movie in real time. The problem is like the little things that we nitpick, but there's nothing in the movie I want to change. It's like, it's the problem with watching one of my 5 favorite movies ever made, you know, when it comes to casting, because when it comes to like that scene of him just flicking the lighter was like, oh, it was cool because it was the great camera work.
But that's the thing though. The other day when we were talking about this in the lead up to recording this, you said we're going to go off on tangents. We're going to be the way we always are when we watch a movie together anyway. So
sure.
What's the problem? Why are you pointing out that we're not doing what we said we would do? Why are you pointing it out?
No.
You're ruining it for people at home.
I'm not ruining anything for people at home. You're telling people that I'm ruining things. You are planting that seed.
And well, no, because you just said we're supposed to be rewriting the movie. You just said it.
How come it says Velociraptor and then Gallimimus, but it says Tyrannosaurus Rex? Shouldn't it just say Tyrannosaurus?
No, because there's the family of dinosaurs under the tyrannoids.
I know, but Tyrannosaurus, there's only one.
Well, yeah, but back then they didn't know that, did they?
And they apparently didn't know the size of a Velociraptor either.
But also,
or that most of these, or that a lot, well, not most, but a lot of these dinosaurs weren't in the Jurassic period. But anyways.
That's a Michael.
That's a Michael Crichton. That's a Crichton problem. That's not a Spielberg.
No. That's not even a Crichton problem. That is you can't call it Cretaceous Park. That doesn't have a good. You can't.
I'd love
it doesn't. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Welcome.
So peel back.
Welcome to Cretaceous Park. It doesn't work.
Peel back the curtain. That book that came out on Friday, May 2nd is called Fracture.
Not Cretaceous Park.
No, the original title was actually supposed to be called Cretaceous AD.
That was the original. Oh, dude, you made a good choice not calling it that.
Oh no, I did. But
so hang on. I was out today before you got on. I was out, did a bit of shopping. I went to a shop called JB Hi-Fi, which has DVDs, Blu-rays, games, all that sort of stuff. And I looked at the Blu-ray box set of all 6 JW movies. And then next to it, I saw a title that made me go, huh. And I grabbed it, and it's called Jurassic Games. Would you like to know the plot of this unsung, underrated, unheard of classic?
Oh boy.
Every 10 years, Death Row's top 10 inmates are sent to the Jurassic Game, a televised event where they must survive against dinosaurs for a period of time. And if they do survive, they get their freedom.
Kind of sounds like Game On.
No, because Game On, it was just random people. There was villains and heroes, but they were being hunted by the world's 1%.
So it's
Hunger Games. It's the Hunger Games. No, this is the Hunger Games plus dinosaurs.
No. That's not the movie I'm thinking of. The one I'm thinking of is The Deadliest Game.
Oh yeah, but The Deadliest Game though,
with
that story
and is it not Gene Hackman? Who's the main the guy that puts the hunting party together? I can't remember the actor now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, The Deadliest Game was based on a book.
No, I know, but the movie was Ice-T as the bum that's being hunted, and then who was the guy? The villain, the main villain that he eventually...
That's more in line with what I did with Game On, where it's the top 1% hunting.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Jurassic Game is literally, it's Hunger Games, just with dinosaurs.
That's awesome. I mean, it depends on the execution. I like the idea.
Then directly next to it was another movie called Jurassic Hunt.
Oh.
Which is big game hunters on safari against dinosaurs, which honestly sounds like a Severed Press title.
Yeah, it does.
Actually, Jurassic Game sounds like a Severed Press title too.
Yeah. And then there's Valley of the Guanji.
Hey, do not besmirch Ray Harryhausen.
No, Valley of the Guanji was fun.
I thought it was just Valley of Guanji. I didn't think it was Valley of the Guanji.
It might be. Valley of
Don't
Guanji.
be an old man and add the to things that don't need the, like the Google or the webs.
Well, that's what I thought people were doing with the Home Depot, but it's actually called the Home Depot. We just call it Home Depot. Our hardware store, it's the Home Depot. I'm like, why are you putting the in front of it? I'm like, that's the actual like corporate trademark.
Now, is it the Home Depot or is it the Home Depot?
We're American, so it's the.
Well, see, I've always kind of gone
it's THU.
THU, the. Okay.
Because we're American. It's the, not the, because we're not proper.
So this is one of those moments where you go, America. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the, but we don't pronounce the as the. It's the.
Sometimes when you talk, you make me tired all over.
I make myself tired when I talk.
And you're doing a podcast where
these kids did great during this sequence. These kids nailed.
It's a mixture of the direction from Spielberg and the fact that was the real T-Rex had the power to kill you.
Yeah, but it's the shots. So they did the reverse Morticia Addams lighting on him when he's watching the water. They have his eyes in the light, where Morticia Addams always has her eyes in the dark. You know,
her eyes are in the light.
I thought her eyes were in the dark.
No.
Oh no. Well, yeah, you're right. Because it's like there's a window. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's no way they would not light her eyes up.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, Angelica Houston.
See, we're doing the Addams Family.
Oh hell yeah! Greatest on-scene romance in cinema history.
Oh come on, I'm sorry.
100%.
Can't be Jessica Rabbit and Roger Rabbit.
I'll take Gomez and Morticia.
Wesley
Adams.
and Buttercup from The Princess Bride.
Nah, Wesley and Morticia Adams, because they are like.
You mean Gomez?
Matt.
What you mean Gomez? Wesley? You said Wesley.
I said Wesley.
I got a better one. I got a better on-screen romantic couple. I got a better one. Frodo Baggins and Samwise Gamgee.
I knew it, and I don't disagree, but I knew it.
That's the greatest on-screen romance.
That's why I have to fast forward through half the Two Towers every time I watch it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't care about the bromance. I don't.
I love it though, because you talk about platonic male friendship and being able to say I love you and all that sort of stuff, and you go, yeah, with your mates you do that, but those two is on a different level. That's proper. Want to bend you over, man love stuff.
It's so probably because they're so secluded and alone, and they've been through so much, and you're like sitting here getting like more and more like.
Well, at the end of Return of the King, when Frodo wakes up in bed.
Here it comes from the perspective of Alan and Ian. From inside Alan and Ian. Here it is. Oh yeah, I love it. It's such a great shot.
This is pretty
such a great shot.
This is a 7-minute sequence, and this is the perfect lesson in suspense and horror.
It's the greatest sequence in cinema history. The greatest sequence in cinema history is T-Rex breakout. Period. It's above my head. It is written in stone. It's right there. It's literally right there. The greatest not shot. The greatest sequence is
greater than the motorbike chase from Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yes, that's one of the greatest chases ever shown.
It's still a sequence.
No, I know, but that's how I
greater than anything. Any of the banter between Henry and his father in Last Crusade.
Okay, that could be greatest like dialogue. I wouldn't say it's greatest sequence.
But think about the sequences, like greater than
because this sequence is long and it's packed.
It's 7 minutes.
So yeah.
All right.
The banter between Henry and Indy is like 30 seconds a lot of the times.
Well, no, okay.
That's why this is such a
when they're
sequence.
escaping from Rumburg Castle and it's on fire. That sequence.
That would probably be number 2 or 3 for me. I mean, that's up there. That's one of the when they're tied together with the chair and they're screaming at each other and then they're trying to get out. Oh yeah.
Okay.
100%.
What about the reveal? What about the reveal of the ghost pirates from Curse of the Black Pearl? That's a good sequence.
That's a great sequence too. That's up there. When she stabs him and he doesn't die, and then
because he's got that great line where says, "You best believe in ghost stories because you're in one." As he goes from dark to light, and then you see the whole ship and everyone's
honestly,
cursed.
honestly, I think a better sequence in that movie is when they're walking underwater and they change back and forth.
That's a
on
shot.
Skeletons.
That's not a sequence. That's just a shot.
Well, it flips back and forth more than one.
No, it's just a shot because it's a locked off under the water camera as they're walking towards you. That when we get the
I guess
reveal,
you could also include them attacking the sailors on the ship.
No, because it cuts. It cuts. So it's not a full sequence
because it cuts back to William and everybody
and Johnny. So no,
Johnny
doesn't count.
No, this is my favorite on-screen sequence. I mean, this is the sequence just keeps going and going.
Better than the sequence in Iron Man 2, where we get to see Scarlett Johansson in the skin-tight black outfit with all those guys at Hammer Industries.
Does that include her changing in the back seat with Jon Favreau and her yelling at him about don't look? Because that was great.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
Don't look. I'm not.
See, Jon Favreau.
Remember, what are you wearing?
Jon Favreau. He. I remember watching Iron Man 2 for the first time, and that scene where he's in the ring with her and she does the spinny thing around his head. You can tell
I think we got screwed when Jon Favreau moved on to Star Wars instead of staying with Marvel.
He left Marvel because of how they treated him.
Oh no, I understand why, but if he was still involved heavily in Marvel, I think we would have had a better Star Wars. Still would have been a train wreck anyways, but at least Marvel, they wouldn't have both been train wrecks at least.
But at least, depending on how you look at it, he did give us The Mandalorian, and I've only seen season 1 of The Mandalorian, and that was
season 1 of The Mandalorian is phenomenal. Season 2 is good. Season 3, it's kind of meh. Is there 3 seasons?
No, isn't it 1, 2,
1, 2, and then the movie,
and then Book of Boba Fett.
The Book of Boba Fett, which is essentially season 2.5.
Is that anything like the Book of Mormon?
Less Josh Gad.
No, I meant the actual Book of Mormon, not the musical.
Oh, as I said, less Olaf.
I don't like Josh Gad.
He's good in spurts.
He's good in what?
In spurts. He's good in spurts.
I haven't seen that movie. Or is that a show?
It's neither. It's called Regular Verbiage.
Regular Verbiage. Ooh. Coming soon from Matt James. Now, coming soon from Matt James. Regular Verbiage. How to write a book.
Or, other cinema sequence mastercism.
You mean masterpieces?
The fight sequence on Floss in Paradise.
Yes. Actually, you could pretty much say the entire Flotsam in Paradise sequence.
Because that's all one long sequence.
Yeah, that whole, from the moment they land to the moment they take off, that's all one sequence. So I'll give you that. Yep, the Flotsam in Paradise. But even
because the performance of Diva Plavala Laguna, then you're getting all of the
Ruby
stuff
Rod. Let's start with Ruby Rod. It's Ruby Rod.
It's the setup for it though with the performance, and then you get Gary Oldman coming in.
Yep.
So you get all of these different parts, but they're all a part of the same sequence.
And then of course you do get the classic. It was a bomb. An alarm go off because all these hotels have alarms.
That would be another. I think we've probably named like my top 4 or 5 favorite movies, like film sequences ever, because those are also some of my favorite movies ever made. So
okay, escaping from Harmonoptera after they've woken up Imhotep, because you get the horror of the scarabs, you get the horror of the guy losing his eye, you get Rick's reaction to seeing Imhotep for the first time, where he goes whoa, and then he roars and shoots at it.
Can't get Jurassic Park online without Dennis Nedry. Sorry, I got locked back in on the movie.
Yeah, I could barely hear what you were saying. It looked like you were just mouthing along.
I was mouthing along with Sammy.
Okay, so I'm sitting here talking like an idiot, not getting a reaction. Geez, thanks.
I am reacting to the movie.
No. I suppose we should react.
Those tires are not all-terrain radial. All-terrain tires.
It's spared no expense.
You cannot drive over a wet fallen log.
Yeah, but remember, this is Newman here, so he's not an outdoors man.
Clearly.
Granted, I'm not an outdoorman, but yet
Imagine
I'm
if
living
he
on a
just
farm.
imagine if he just got up and like hustled down the
Walked.
tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah, but chances are the Dilophosaurus still would have got him.
Probably not, because he goes down into the trees right now. If he gets away quick enough, Mr.
But see,
Dilo
here's the
may
thing.
not even know he's there.
Okay, so there's a tunnel and a sign saying East Dock. There's no fence between them and the Dilophosaurus, unless there was a scene cut out where the Dilophosaurus escaped from their own pen.
I'm assuming this is outside of this is not in the Dilophosaurus pen, is what I would assume.
So how did they get out?
How did the Velociraptors get out?
Well, they jump and they claw.
Oh, yeah.
But
And we're assuming that the Dilophosaurus's pen wasn't as secured as the Velociraptors either.
Or
I'm sorry, as the Utah Raptors.
But we see the
or as they
Velociraptor.
say it in Wild Wild West, Utah.
So we see the
You're
Velociraptor.
like I can't with you right now.
No, I can. I'm choosing to ignore.
But listening to Salma Hayek mimic a Swedish woman or a Swiss woman saying Utah. Sorry. Anyways, proceed.
But we actually see the Velociraptor pen with the wires bent out. We don't know. They never say how these guys got out. So in your head, you do link it. Oh, this is still their pen, which makes no sense because you got the tunnel.
No, you do. But you see this movie enough times and you start to try and bring in some sort of like real world logic. You're like, well, if that's the tunnel and he's been driving this whole time outside of fencing because he went through the gates and those gates aren't in a pen.
Yep.
So you're assuming the dinosaur got out somehow. Because the same thing happened in Dominion. So because the Dilophosaurus is in Dominion, or all the dinosaurs in Dominion at that point, you have to assume that all of those research towers are not where the dinosaurs can eat people, because that would be a very flawed design by Biosyn.
But honestly,
or that's just really lazy movie making because Dominion was kind of lazy.
I look at it as the Jurassic Park franchise. Its founding hypothesis is simple. Humans are stupid.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, that just came to me, so
I think Kay said something like that for Men in Black. Maybe Men in Black 2.
It's in the first movie. It's in the first movie. And it's when Jay's
a person and people.
It's Jay. Yes, Jay talking to Kay. Jay is trying to make the decision to join. He says, people just go with this. And Kay says, a person can. A person is smart, rational, logical. People are dumb, violent, and malicious.
And then I don't know if you ever watched the original CSI, like Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
William Peterson, Gil Grissom.
Yeah.
There was an episode where there was a person got stabbed, something happened, and they died. And when they died, they fell into a road and got hit by a taxi.
Right.
So then the taxi driver gets out thinking that he just killed somebody.
Killed someone.
But post-mortem, they realized the person's heart stopped before the impact.
Yeah.
So then he sees the body, runs back into his cab to call 911. But he's outside of a bar and a bunch of people run and beat him to death.
Yeah.
Because they think he's trying to get away. And Gil Grissom at the end of the episode, when they figured it out, he said something about if a person just stopped and asked a question, all of this could have been avoided. But that's where you get mob mentality, and you get people as a group are violent by nature.
And the best example of that is you just look at the internet, look at Facebook, look at Twitter.
Yeah, social media in general.
Yeah.
I don't know what Twitter is. What is Twitter?
X.
Thank you. Sorry, just because Twitter was a vile creation by Mr. Jack Dorsey. X is a little better. A little better.
Okay, I'm not on it, so
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm getting close to just getting rid of all social media.
I'm not going to tell anybody you threw up. Oh, he just turned the wheels. Dude, these kids did great. They really did.
Well, it's Spielberg. Spielberg knows how to work with kids.
There's a joke in there.
No, I'm not making a joke. I mean, 100% serious. You look at him. Look at the work he did with what's his name from E.T., the main kid in E.T.
Oh, Elliot. Yeah, the actor that played Elliot.
Yeah.
And then Harry Joel Osment.
Yeah, in AI. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a good
Hell,
actor
even Dakota Fanning.
because that's the same kid from Signs, right?
No, that's
Sixth
one of the
Sense.
Culkins. Yeah, Sixth Sense. Yeah.
Sixth Sense.
But look at the work with his work with Dakota Fanning in War of the Worlds.
Yep.
Spielberg is he is almost a perfect director. Almost.
Well, I would say yes, because he also knows how to surround himself with people that make him look better.
Yeah,
make him
but
look even better because
do
his
you know-
team
do-
is always awesome.
Do you know why I say almost?
Waterworld?
He didn't direct it.
No,
that's Kevin Reynolds.
Yeah, it was Kevin Reynolds.
Who directed Prince of Thieves.
There's the Kevin Costner connection.
But no, I say almost because of Ready Player One.
Fair.
Spielberg was the wrong choice for that movie. He was not. That's a movie you need someone who's in pulp culture, someone like Edgar Wright.
Or just someone like younger.
No, not even younger. No, because you get someone younger, it's going to be just this thing.
That's true. If you also go younger, you're not going to have any nostalgia.
Exactly. You get Edgar Wright. You look at the work Edgar Wright did with Scott Pilgrim.
Mm-hmm.
He'd bring that same sensibility just to a game world.
Yeah. If I had one of these Jurassic Park Jeeps, I'd be driving it around all the time.
Which one? The Jeep or the
well, I have 3 kids, so I would need the big one.
You need a tour card, yeah.
Yeah. The Jeep is great, though. Sahara, beige. Sorry. Jurassic.
Okay, whatever your character's name is from Jurassic World.
Gray is the younger brother, and
he's the one who says all the stuff about the vehicle. So yeah.
Yeah, he's the genius possible spectrum Asperger's based on research I did for Fracture. And then it's Gray, and
I love this. He's passed out. He's mumbling. The moment he hears the roar, he's up and at him. Sorry.
Yeah. Up and at them.
Up and at them.
Up and at them.
At them.
It's
up and at them. Up and at them.
Up and at them.
Up and at them. Better.
He said at them. Because it's
but then they both get agitated, and then the speech coach goes, better.
Remember the other one? Hello, Homer Thompson. He's stomping on his foot.
Oh,
He goes into witness protection.
Yeah. From
I think he's talking to you.
Yeah,
and all you see is the light gets darker and darker.
Yeah, because they're longer and longer.
Yeah. And frustrated. And their clothes, their shirts unbuttoned, the
smoking.
Sweat. Yeah, smoking. Sorry. Classic.
I actually watched what was it? I think from like a couple of episodes from season 14 or 15 of Simpsons. Now I hadn't seen those episodes. Oh, that was so bad. Unfunny.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't even remember the era from with I think I stopped watching The Simpsons right around where they killed Maud Flanders.
Oh yeah, that was like season 12 or 13. Maybe 11. Yeah.
Because that's where he goes like crazy, like dum diddly dum dum. Is that where he starts like going like nuts with his language?
No, that was when he has the breakdown after the house gets destroyed.
That's right. Homer
which is before that.
Yeah.
No, it's not Homer doesn't destroy the house. It's a hurricane, and he's the only house that gets destroyed.
Oh, that's right. His is the only house that gets destroyed.
And they rebuild it. The town rebuilds it.
And remember, the hallway's really tiny. Yeah, they do a terrible job.
They do the terrible job.
It's
and then
okay,
he has
Nettie.
The breakdown.
Oh, that's when he the suppression, like from his parents who were beatniks.
Yes.
Yeah. No, Maud Flanders, and she dies from a shirt cannon, right? Because Homer ducks out of the way.
He doesn't duck, he bends over.
Yeah, he bends over. Yeah. And then they do the dating video, right? And they have that huge blur out.
Yes, because of his massive schlong.
His massive
schlong. Can I say schlong on YouTube?
I was going to say his Tyrannosaur, but yes.
No, we are not linking that to Ned Flanders' body.
His member.
Yes, his member is not a dinosaur because he's a fictional cartoon character.
It's true. Dinosaurs were real.
There's no definitive proof.
You're no definitive proof.
Yeah, no, true. Until we actually meet in the same room and we can poke each other and touch each other, then yeah, I accept that.
I don't know if I'm going to poke you the first time I see you, but okay.
In the face, right? In the, is it really you?
I'm going to test that right eyeball. Ow! Nice to meet you.
So basically, when we meet for the first time properly, we're going to go full Three Stooges. What is going on? My favorite one of the Three Stooges. It's all the slapstick, and then Larry gets hit and he spins around and he comes around going, I can't see. And Mo goes, what's wrong? And he goes, really childlike. He goes, I had my eyes closed. And then Mo says, well, open them. So he does, and boop.
Vegisaurus. Like even as between the lighting and between their acting and reaction off of one another, with obviously just looking off camera at nothing, it's wholly believable. Like they do a good job. Like we've seen so many actors, especially nowadays, when they're acting on green screen exclusively, and they're like the classic is if you watch the behind the scenes making of the first Transformers movie with Shia LaBeouf. And when he is in the garage and back and he's talking to Bumblebee, they have Bumblebee's head, like a picture of his face on a big pole, and they're moving it around so Shai has something to look at.
Yeah, he's got the eye line.
Like, they don't do that anymore.
No, they still do that. They still do the eye line.
No,
they still have
quality of work, I would say, very.
No, they still do it.
Isn't it sometimes just a tennis ball on a pole?
Yeah, the best example is when they're making Age of Ultron. I love this story. So they're doing Age of Ultron, and James Spader is Ultron. Perfect casting with a voice. He's on set in a mocap outfit. Now, because Ultron's supposed to be like 6, 7, 8 feet tall, he's got these two poles.
I think he's like 8 or 9, yeah.
Yeah, he's got these two poles that go up, and they've got red LEDs for the eyes.
Especially when he's been juicing, as Tony says.
So he's got these balls with the red balls for his eye, and that's what they're supposed to look at. But because of how good an actor James Spader is, whenever he was acting with what's his name, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and
you would just look at him.
Elizabeth Olsen. No, it was Elizabeth Olsen. Just because of how good Spader was, her eyes would always drop to his face.
Yeah.
And so whenever that would happen, Aaron Taylor Johnson would casually go, Liz, look at James's balls.
That's great.
But the best actor ever at this sort of thing, like the invisible creature, was Bob Hoskins.
Oh God, he had to be.
No, because the giveaway for an actor when they're acting against something that actually isn't there, you can see when the eyes aren't focused on the right spot. Mm-hmm. So hold your hand in front of your face, focus on your hand, then move your hand away and try to stay focused on that same area. It's really, really hard.
Really hard.
Bob Hoskins could do that from a very young age. He could just focus on nothing. So when he got cast for Eddie Valiant and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, it was perfect because they would do two versions of a take. One where they would have the fake Roger Rabbit and fake cartoon characters, so like these cutouts running around for the camera move, so everyone knew what was happening. Take them out to do the actual scene, and Bob could still focus on the right spot for the entire scene, even if the character is moving all the way around.
Yeah.
And everyone all the special effects wizards, Robert Zemeckis, who's more focused on technology than actual actors, everyone's there going, no one else could do that. Everyone tried, and they couldn't do it as well as Bob could. Not even Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
I have to admit, Adam Burr's performance and the way John Hammond's written here, he's the best corporate villain ever because he's doing everything he can not to take the blame.
Yeah. But he also genuinely, as a human being, believes in what he's doing.
Oh yeah, but
this isn't a cash grab for him. This is a passion
that's
project.
The best villains are the ones who truly believe they're the heroes or they're doing the right thing. That's the best villain. So, as I said, he's the best corporate villain.
That's why at the beginning of JP2, when Ian's like,
yeah,
and we're doing all over again.
Yeah, no, it's not. We're doing
this time with no fences, another island, no fences. It's like,
yeah, he says, yeah, we're not doing it again. He says, it's that. And he says, and Ham says, oh no, I've learned from my mistakes. And Ian says, yes, and you're making new ones.
Yeah, we're making all new ones. Yeah.
Really? Never looked it.
I mean, she was very happy to see King Kong Gates.
Oh, that's King Kong. You know, without that movie, we would not have any of this.
It's true.
I mean, we would not have Godzilla. We would not have Deep Rising. Hell, we probably wouldn't have The Mummy.
No. Maybe or off like Mummy.
No, the those monster movies didn't really start happening until after Kong, because Kong proved people would see it.
True. Yeah.
Because the first one that Universal did was Dracula, which was based off a stage play version of it, which is very boring and dull and almost like a thing of manners. Not really scary with Bela Lugosi. So
great set piece.
No, you've already said what was the great set piece. This is okay. This is not great. This is okay.
No, but again, we're talking set pieces from the 90s where they actually exist.
No, I'm sorry. The great set piece is there's two great set pieces in this movie. One is the T-Rex, and two, it's Muldoon and the Raptors. This is just a nice moment.
I mean, that's a beautiful animatronic.
Yeah, but it's not a good set. It's not a great set piece. Because no one goes when they talk about Jurassic Park. No one goes, "Oh, remember this the baby Bracky that sneezes?" No one says that.
It's not also talking about the tree and like the leaves and just them.
Oh, so you mean it's a great set?
Yeah, I mean,
not set piece.
The tree is a piece of the set.
No, when you say set piece, you're instantly making me think of the T-Rex sequence.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This is a great set.
Yeah. I like cows.
And sorry to be pedantic, but
dull and pedantic.
Hey, I'm not dull.
Sorry, another Family Guy reference. Or no, was that the first Family Guy reference?
Hey, if
shallow and pedantic.
Yes, thank you. And yes, I am shallow.
Oh, what color is that red fire truck? All red and stuff. You're right.
No, yeah.
You're red.
Now, say what? Oh, who? Oh, this is where you really get the boys from the men. I want to say.
And what was the order? What was the order? What was he?
It's that first. It's the what? Then it goes to the fire truck, and when he gets
the color of the red fire truck is red. Is the color is the answer, and then what is the answer to the last question? It's two different questions.
Yeah, but I love it because good thing I watched that documentary on fire trucks.
Oh yeah.
The fire truck can consume 7 times its own weight and needs to eat continuously. The ambulances will have to wait their turn.
Yeah.
And
I remember Sam Neill always talks about this scene and how his American accent was awful.
You've got to give points to Sam Neill for doing his best with an American accent. because being a Kiwi, it's not the easiest thing. If he'd got British accent, he would have been fine.
Saying the way he says frog,
yeah,
it's awkward. It's awkward. It's frog. It's the way his mouth is shaped. It's
frog. It was just it's and then you got Sexy Goldblum.
Yeah, Sexy Goldblum.
Stupid Sexy Goldblum.
I know. I wanted to buy that pop doll when it first came out, but I didn't.
Oh, the only Funkos I want to buy are the ones from Mars Attacks, where it's the Martian spy girl, and then the Martian Emperor, and then a Martian soldier. They're so. It's just ack. Oh, dude, you are terrible.
That is one of the skulls in the new Predator movie.
Where? Oh, what, the Martians?
Yeah. It's one of the skulls. It shows a trophy room, and one of the skulls is supposed to be one of the Martians from Mars Attacks.
But the Martians don't have this part would be the Martian head, but then this is just the soft tissue that holds the brain.
Yeah, it's the skull, it's the face.
But see, that's not enough to make me go, oh, that's a Martian.
No, I know.
What makes it a Martian is the brain head.
Yeah.
Basically the sack.
Yes. Dying.
Because of you, Johnny.
Yeah, John. Classic villain camera and lighting.
Oh, yeah.
The light with the close-up, and
yep.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, yeah. Hold on to your
This is a great scene where he comes up to the computer, the angle with him walking towards the camera.
Yeah. With the backlighting.
Yeah. This is great. Torches. And right here.
Yeah.
Right here, this scene with him coming up to the computer. It's a good shot. Right here. Yeah. With that backlighting.
Why though? Why is that a good shot? Tell me.
The backlighting, the color, the smoke, the cigarette, his clothes, like everything about it is very. Because they could have done that. They could have done that from several other, like a back angle. They could have done that from. But stationary in the front with him coming at them with the light backlighting him was. That was great lighting right there with Bob Peck, even though the lighting is not coming from the top, it's coming from the bottom. It was still very good.
Well, this is Dean Cundey, so Dean Cundey basically was the DOP for many amazing movies from the 80s and 90s. The Thing, The Back to the Future.
That makes sense. Because that is a very 80s camera angle lighting where it's
very 80s aesthetic
with the black background with just the face lit up. Gallimimus. Mimic bird, mimic something is Gallimimus. I can't remember what the translation is.
Hell, Dean Cundey also did Death Becomes Her, Flubber, Romancing the Stone.
Wow, those are all very different movies.
Yeah. The Flintstones, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Apollo 13. Granted, though, some of those are Robert Zemeckis.
The Flintstones was awesome.
Oh, Hook. There you go. He was cinematographer for Hook.
Hook was good. The Flintstones was awesome.
Oh, geez.
John Goodman and Rick Moranis, and that was a great movie.
He also was the cinematographer, I do believe. Hang on, let me double check this because that's sad if he was on this movie.
They're not all hits.
Oh no, but this one is an atrocious one. He was the cinematographer for the Adam Sandler movie Jack and Jill.
Oh, that is bad. That is the classic Michael Caine paycheck.
Yep.
It's a paycheck. Look at all the blood.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. An illustrious career as one of the best cinematographers, and then working with Adam Sandler. But I suppose A job's a job. Paycheck's a paycheck.
Especially later in the career.
Hmm. No, that would actually be a good. That would be fun.
That is the basis for Itchy and Scratchy Land in The Simpsons.
Yeah. But also, it's taking on this and Westworld, both Michael Crichton things.
Sure.
Why don't have like AR-15s? Have automatic rifles, like machine guns, not this, not a slow firing pump action shotgun. Because you're going up against dinosaurs that can go up to speeds of 60 was it miles per hour or kilometers? You want to have something faster than that.
Kilometers, because I think they run like 40 or 50 miles per hour.
Yeah, same speed as cheetahs. But you want something faster than a pump action shotgun.
Cheetahs are faster, but yes.
But
yeah,
you still want.
I agree. I agree.
See, this is why you need to bring in.
Well, because in movies, specifically 80s, 90s, historically, the big booming of a shotgun is more movie like powerful than a rifle.
But all you need to do, the moment shit goes wrong, Hammond would have contacts in the military. So you get on the horn, you call in the military contact. You know who
He's
comes
not
in?
going to call anyone in because he doesn't want to lose the park.
But you know who comes in? Arnold Schwarzenegger's team from Predator, Jesse Ventura, Shane Black.
That would be cool.
What's his name? Bill Duke.
Carl Weathers.
Oh no, he's the CIA. It's Carl Weathers, but he's the CIA guy. He's not part of the team.
That's true.
But you still have Carl.
And what's his name?
Sonny Chavez.
No, the guy with the minigun.
Jesse Ventura.
No, the other. Well, no, the other minigun. The other black guy.
Bill Duke.
Is that who that is?
Duke.
That's not Forrest.
Yeah.
He looks like Forrest Whitaker.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, Bill Duke. You're right.
Forrest Whitaker's got the eye thing.
Well, no, I know.
And the whispery, soft, almost girlish voice. Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he's fat Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando? No, that's Marlon. No, that's not Brando. That's just any Italian mafia. No, Marlon Brando was
Marlon Brando.
Yeah, Marlon Brando's. I'm gonna make him laugh. He can't refuse. That's Brando.
I think that's actually Dom DeLuise.
That's Dom DeLuise doing Marlon Brando.
I know.
It's closer to Brando than.
I got back from the dentist. I forgot to take out the cotton balls. I will take these cotton balls from your hand and put them in my pocket. Okay. Or whatever. He says, whatever.
My lizard? Well, at least oh, you mean my actual lizard?
Yeah. Your lizard is limp.
I could have been someone. I could have been a contender.
Here we are. How many movies have we talked about that haven't been Jurassic Park? This is what we do. Sequence. So anybody that's still with us, this is what we do. So get used to it.
Oh, that's right. We're supposed to be doing a show, aren't we?
Yeah, that is why. So we had the great idea of thinking these conversations would be great to post on YouTube.
No. You had the idea, and I just went, sure, whatever.
Fair.
So really, if no one watches these things, failed experiment, no harm, no foul. Because we're still going to do this no matter what. We just won't record it.
I'm going to keep recording. I don't care. If we're doing this, we might as well just record it and post it and try to get something out of it. And by the way, I am very, very happy that your shirt is not S''S because that really pisses me off. Thank you. It's S''. It's not S''S. S''F is stupid.
Jones
because people are like, oh, it's possessive, so it's .S. I'm like, well, not if it ends in
no, because you've got the S there, so you got to go.
Dude, there's so many people that will do S''S, and it's just,
I know.
Oh, it's obnoxious.
I had a book. I one of the books for Severed Press came back for the edits, and every apostrophe S and apostrophes they had replaced it with S''S. So I just went and said no to all those.
Is that Queen's English thing, is that or is that just very, 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 very
You mean
specific to the
you mean
person?
our King's English?
King's English. Is that or is it just very specific to the person? Because that's not an American thing usually. But I'm like, okay, maybe it's an English thing. But if it's not an Aussie thing, I don't know where that Oxford English, is it like a specific, very small sect of English, and it just depends on the editor, like the actual person or the writer?
Um,
Because I've been writing S apostrophe my entire life, and I've never once thought this needs another S. Like, and I see it on formal stuff, not just like Facebook.
okay, it's actually you can go both. Both are correct. Either S apostrophe S or S apostrophe.
I
Both
know
are
they're
actually
technically
correct.
correct, but the S apostrophe S is just it's like, why?
It is British English, yeah.
I assumed it was, but this is great too with the lighting with Ian.
Oh no, this sequence is good. Like this
It
is a
does
good
jump.
sequence.
The way it jumps back and forth, it
And then
really
the
drives.
escalation,
the escalation, it drives hard.
And then because then you still get the just the three-way thing, and then this as well.
And then eventually the raptor, and yeah.
Spoilers. For the raptor, you just said there was a raptor. So spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen this 30-odd-year-old movie.
One of the highest grossing single greatest movies ever. So yes. This is great because it just keeps it ramps up, and then the camera
and it shows you how far
perimeter
you have
fence.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
Like this,
the
sequencing is.
But see, this comes down to Spielberg as the director, Kep and
This is
Crichton as the
storyboard
writers.
101. This was storyboarded.
Well, it's not even storyboarded because it's written in the script first. That's the thing. So this is actually the three of them talking out the sequence and figuring out the flow of things. So this is writing 101 at its best for ramping up tension.
And then the palm front in the way, so you can't see him, so you don't see.
Yeah, so you don't know if he's alive or dead. Yeah, and then this, you hear he's not breathing, and you're like, oh, whoa.
Well, you also see that it's a stunt double. Oh yes.
But it's still that thing. It's all part. Yeah. Yes, it's to cover the stunt double, but it's also to give you that thing of, is he alive or dead? Of course, they did do Samuel L. Jackson's character dirty by not showing his death on screen, but they couldn't because Jackson was back in L.A.
Oh, he went.
But home? I have to admit, yeah, he was back in L.A. I think it was he had a scheduling thing, or he couldn't, or there was something to do with travel. He couldn't get there. But I have to admit, it's also good not seeing his death because you kind of go, oh wow, that must have just been fast and gruesome.
Also, probably because they also have Muldoon getting his right here, so it's like,
no, it was always planned that you were going to see Arnold's death. You were always going to see it.
Well, I think the back-to-back deaths, because I know in this movie particularly, they do space out like the violence really well.
That also comes down to what Spielberg learned making Jaws.
Yeah, the gruesome over and over, like the one after the other.
Yeah, that's the thing, because Jaws was originally supposed to be a proper, bloody, gruesome horror movie. And because of the fact that the shark, named Bruce, didn't work properly, he had to make it as suspenseful as possible.
Yeah.
Which is good.
And a robot in the water, who'd have thunk it? There's the spaz with that weird foldable, that over-the-top foldable stock, what it's famous for.
But
Brandon Herrera did a great video. The AK guy did a great video on this shotgun.
Wait. Oh, man. You never talk over Clever Girl. You never talk over it.
And there's another good palm front placement. And this was the scene that drove us out of the theaters when I was a kid. So we were.
But see, the
more than 3/4 of the way
the palm front, that's not to cover up the fact that you're not seeing violence. That's more just because it's or partly to cover up you're not seeing actual blood, but it's also to let your imagination, because our imaginations are always more active and more over the top than what you actually
Yeah, but that
see.
also kept it from being rated R.
This wasn't rated R.
No.
What is it? PG-13?
Yeah.
So, in the great discussion of a PG-13 13 movie in the US, meaning you can have one F word, where do you put it in this?
At the very end, when Sam Neill, Alan Grant says something about giving the
I've decided not to give you my endorsement.
Yeah, there would have been an F-bomb in there somewhere.
No. Grant says that.
It would have been
it's
F-no.
No. Grant says that because he comes and he says, Mr. Hammond, after much consideration, I've decided not to endorse your park. Hammond says, so have I. Hammond goes, so have, what was it?
That you said, so have I. Hammond says, so have I.
Yeah, so you put the F-bomb with Hammond.
No, I have decided, or I think it Sam Neill would have, or one of the kids.
No, you give it to Hammond because Samuel says, because that's literally the last line of the movie.
No. Hammond. Instead of saying clever girl, you say OF.
No.
Oh.
You go, no, you go clever effing girl.
Yeah. Or just clever F.
No, clever effing girl. Because it's a great line. Clever girl's a great line.
One of the kids would have been good too.
Oh, the kitchen. Yeah, the kitchen sequence. This movie has a lot of great sequences.
Oh, they do. Oh, the Jello.
Yeah, you're right.
That was a great redo with her older, where she did the Jello. She was holding the Jello. That was like done like a year ago or 2 years ago. The actress, she sat there, Adrienne, whatever, I can't remember her name. She had a piece of Jello on a spoon, and she did a side by side with that picture. It was cool.
Yeah, you're right. It was PG-13. Fair enough.
Yeah, because when you think about it, all the violence in this movie against humans
is off screen,
or there's no blood.
Yeah,
like Gennaro, Gennaro's death, Muldoon's death, Dum Dum's death, Wayne Knight's death. There's no blood. It's some sort of shadow. There's a palm frond in the way.
Or it's
Gennaro, there's no blood, or it's off screen. Yeah. So what is it? It's 4 deaths.
Well, no, guy at the very start.
No. I'm saying 4 deaths. Well, yeah, okay, but that's
at the very start.
That's the prequel, though.
But
I'm saying
it's still in the movie. Island. It's on the movie. It's on the island. So guy at the start. Yeah. Then it's Guerrero.
Yeah, it's 5 deaths.
Then it's Muldoon. It's Arnold, and Nedry. Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah. But at the beginning of JP2, they talk about surrounding the deaths of 4 people because it's the day that all this happened.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking was the lawsuit and the NDA and all that stuff that they had that they were arguing about at the beginning. That, as the years go by, looks more and more Harryhausen claymation stop go. Those raptors right there, like with the way they move very Harryhausen snake like, where all of his creatures moved like snakes when they weren't really supposed to.
No,
like when you see like the Hydra and you see like anything that's like serpentine, they wiggle. They have like this weird wiggle to them when you're like,
but
bones don't move like that.
But no, because remember with a snake, it's like it's very tiny segmented bone, so it can.
I know,
like
but they not like that.
You're talking about when it coils, like it's coiling like this, doing all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like they don't
like the Hydra in Disney's Hercules.
They don't go. Hey!
Okay, now you've gone from Harryhausen to the Muppets. Pick which one.
As long as I can have Michael Caine.
No, in this discussion, you've gone from Ray Harryhausen with his serpentine movements to a Muppet to come at the frog going. What is it?
Michael Caine was in the Muppets. I can have Michael Caine.
But what's Michael Caine got to do with Ray Harryhausen?
Because it's Michael Caine.
What's it got to do with Ray Harryhausen, though?
I don't know.
You're the one who brought up Harryhausen, and then you switched mid talk.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Well, no, because there's no context going from one to the other.
I never promised context.
And yes, this is what we are actually like.
Yes,
This
was a great scene too, because for a minute sequence. You're like, oh, she's done, and then you're like, oh, clever boy, clever Spielberg.
Well, no, clever girl, because it was Lex who figured it out.
Well, I meant the camera shot, like the planning.
You make it sound like they're filming the dinosaurs for real.
I'd be scared of these animatronics. These things could kill you. Especially especially the ones overseas, the robots that are actually like punching people right now. Have you seen those videos?
No.
Like Taiwan and like some of these Southeast Asian countries, there's these like Tesla style humanoid robot things.
Yeah.
And like they're using them. One of them was like part of like security or crowd control. And it like walked up to these people and then started swinging on them. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell. Even he has a spaz. Look at this. Everybody has a spaz.
Yeah, because that's the one that...
that is a very expensive firearm. That is a collectible. Holy crap.
Well, but this is the 1990s. Keep in mind,
it's
1990s. It's the end of the Cold War.
They haven't made that gun in a long time.
And here's the other thing. They spared no expense.
Yeah. No, but now, like, if you get a good condition firing spaz, they are not cheap. Like a real one. It's called a spaz. It's SPAS.
Just when you said that, you get a good condition firing spaz.
Spaz 12. It's a Franchi. Spaz
okay,
12.
So is it spaz or spaz?
It's capital SPAS. And
so spaz?
It's Franchi, which is Italian.
Oh, it's Italian.
It's either semi-automatic or pump, depending on the model. And pump is usually more popular in movies because
you get the
you get the action.
Everybody likes action.
Spaz. 1979 to 2000. Dual mode shotgun adjustable for semi-automatic or pump. So why would you ever have pump?
For this.
For movies.
Well, yeah, and in video games too.
The classic spaz actually has a hook.
Is it? Okay, make up your mind. You've switched pronunciation so many times.
It's Italian, so it's probably spaz, but calling it a spaz is funnier.
It's gonna make me, every time you say it, I'm laughing. I am that immature.
Then I've done my job. And now we have the hacker.
Oh, yes.
Hacker.
1990s movie hacker. I love this. He calls them just to tell them the phones are working.
That is not a Oh,
so,
he had a malfunction.
But
failure to eject. Failure to eject.
But here's the question, though. Also, he's not used to weapons, so he probably doesn't know how many shots are in there.
He is.
But was that firing buckshot or slugs? That's my question.
Back then, I would probably say buckshot, but even then, those looked like regular bullet.
That's like regular bullet holes, right? It didn't look like.
I would believe a slug would leave an even bigger.
Or shatter the whole thing completely if he's fired 3.
Yeah. Correct. I saw this movie in the 25th anniversary rendering of 3D in theaters. So it was like that odd, like 2.5D.
Yeah.
But it was better because it wasn't like obnoxiously like nauseating like some 3D. So it was basically high contrast.
Yeah.
So it was like some
So
things
you
would
had
just
that depth of field,
you had
basically.
depth. That was about it. And it was completely remastered. The sound, it was so good. I mean, it rumbled. And I remember sitting there going, "This is gonna be great." My wife's like, "You're such a dork." Like, I was so excited. Because my one
So
movie experience with the original Jurassic Park was a kid, and
yeah.
it scared me.
Well,
So
it's like
going back
I
as an
remember.
adult and just like, yes, I
Oh
was
man,
like,
I remember '97. They did the re-release of the Star Wars movies, those first lot of special editions.
yeah.
And Dad said, "We're seeing A New Hope, and we're going to see it, big screen. We're sitting in the
Is
very
that
front
when they
row."
superimposed Jabba and made it
Yeah,
was like, yeah.
yeah. So Dad says we're going to go see it at the movies, and we're like, "Great, Star Wars on the big screen." He says, "We're sitting in the front row," and we go, "Why?" He says, "Trust me." So we get the front row, and
Oh, the
right in the middle.
scroll. The
No,
scroll.
the Star Destroyer coming over.
Oh, coming over, yeah.
Tom, my brother Tom, my sister Kate, and myself, all three of us, we're there going, "Oh," just with the Star Destroyer. We come out of the movie and we go to Dad, "Oh, that was brilliant." He goes, "First time I saw Star Wars back in 1977. That's how I saw it." And we're like, "Oh, wow."
Last time I sat up front for a movie was Rush Hour 2. And the lady next to me pulled an entire fried chicken out of her purse.
Now, did she offer some to you?
No, she was very, very, very,
Mean?
very, very
Rude?
hungry.
She still would have offered. She
That
still should
was
have offered. That's just
that
rude.
woman. That was an appetizer to that woman.
Did she suck the bones dry?
I would have come out of the theater like that.
So she was sitting there sucking the bones dry.
Yeah, I lost a sausage on that one. Yeah.
I want to say something, but it will get me in trouble.
Yeah. Greatest bite force of any land animal ever. 40,000 psi, I believe, is the T-Rex.
And then it gets done like a little bitch by a Spinosaurus.
Greatest bite force ever of any animal is a megalodon, but of a land animal, it's T-Rex. Of any land animal.
In a fight between man and Meg wins.
Yeah, Meg wins all the fights, except
you,
if they're on land.
You haven't seen the Meg movie.
Oh no. Especially
I think you would actually enjoy it if you could separate the book from the movie.
Yeah, the first few books I read quite a few times.
Yeah, but if you separate it, saying it's not the book at all, it's actually a really dumb fun movie. It's like watching the Uncharted movie. You have to separate it from the games.
It's one of those things where I probably need to revisit, or I need to visit it, not revisit it, but I need to.
Oh no,
I don't have a problem with the casting. It's just
Statham's great in that movie, but it's that sort of movie you and I have to watch it together, and we have to have some drinks during it.
The only consistent thing about that movie is that it's about a big shark.
And it's got Jason Statham, and it's Jason Statham battling.
Jonah Taylor has nothing to do with Jason Statham in the books. No, he is not that character.
No, but the way that Statham plays the character, it is.
No, I know that, but the only consistency between the book and the movie is the shark. That's it.
But that character is almost like the more rough and tumble version of Rick O'Connell.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, and Statham's having a blast.
She came out of this with a really good hair day. It was like perfect. Like,
no, you're absolutely right. You're right. Her hair gets better as the movie progresses.
She's kind of like an elf in every fantasy movie. They are always pretty and clean, no matter how dirty and disgusting everyone else is.
True.
As if they have running water and soap on hand. That's always like one of the funny like movie tropes is the elves are not allowed to be dirty and disgusting.
True.
I guess it makes sense because they're supposed to be like the pure
angelic.
Ethereal. Yeah.
Which sucks. Dwarves are white. Oh, I love that meme where if it's Nouveau architecture, it's elf. When it's Art Deco, it's dwarf.
I mean,
which when you see and you compare it, like even with Lord of the Rings, the way things are designed, you sit there and go, yeah, that's true.
Okay, if anybody saw that name right before Sam Neill, it said Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, dude, don't do this.
I'm just
no, there's no need to do it. No, This is before she went to the dark side. This is before she went to the dark side.
Oh, she is straight up Sith Lord.
Yeah, this is before that though. Okay.
Well, yeah, I know.
So you don't need to do anything. No.
This was the Amblin trio, right?
So you don't need to do anything. Okay, you don't need to make any comment about her.
Yeah.
Let's end this on a good, happy note.
She's married to the other one, right?
Was
Rob Marshall was?
Yeah, was
okay.
But come on, let's end this on a happy note.
Yeah. No, so Ariana Richards. There we are.
Yeah.
Like I think I called her Adrian, but yeah, Ariana Richards.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So you get to meet her, you're going to feel like a fool. Oh, dude. So
that'd be fun.
Oh no, I'll tell you this after. I got something to tell you after.
Oh, okay. No, so here we are.
That's Jurassic Park.
2 hours and 15 minutes later.
And if you've lasted this long, congratulations. And also, we are sorry.
We're sorry, but we're also very thankful for you. We do appreciate it.
Yes,
we really do. So the whole idea is that this is kind of what Rich and I
she still is married to Frank Marshall.
Oh, Frank
She's still
Marshall,
married to him.
Rob Marshall. Yeah, Frank Marshall.
Rob Marshall directed Chicago.
That's right. Frank Marshall directed.
Frank Marshall was a producer.
Born Identity, right? But he also directed Born Identity, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
No, that was another Marshall.
That was not a Marshall. That was Doug Liman.
Doug Liman. I thought he did something with Born Identity. Maybe he produced it. I thought Marshall did something. I thought he did something with Born Identity. Anyways.
No, so the 4 movies he's directed: Arachnophobia.
Oh yeah, John Goodman.
Alive, Congo, and 8 Below.
Congo's good.
Oh yeah. He produced The Bourne Supremacy and The Bourne Legacy, and Jason Bourne. So there you go.
There you go. But yeah.
But so yeah, as we were saying before, the squirrel brain.
This is what we do. This is what we do.
And next time we will be doing, if you'd like to come back and sit through this again, we will be doing Jurassic Park 2, or as it is more commonly known as with the stupid title, The Lost World, Jurassic Park.
Yes. Yeah, we decided when we want to do series or trilogies or however we want to break them up, I guess depending on the series and the way the movies flow. And in this case, with Jurassic World Rebirth coming out in July. And honestly, with this being our first few episodes, let's do some movies that you and I are comfortable talking about, that we love watching.
We bet.
No, but the whole idea is we also wanted to pick movies that we also know we're sure that, or we're at least hoping that people would want to sit and watch and listen to us talk about. Because there are some off the wall movies that we are going to do later, based on like the schedule that we've put together with like what movies we want to do. But yeah, so this is kind of what we're going to do. Like I said, we're shooting for an episode every other week just for time. Because there is some editing that we have to do with these, not much, thankfully. But this is, like I said, this is it. This is Second Draft Cinema. As the episodes come out, I'm sure they will evolve as far as what we talk about and how and why, and but
there's no why. There's no why with what we do.
It's true. But I would say I would definitely expect like 80% minimum of what you got now. So,
look in the words of Ian Malcolm, life finds a way.
Yeah. Chaos.
Yes.
That's the essence of chaos. And here I am and sitting by myself, talking to myself.
No, you're talking to me. You're not alone yet.
The line. But yes. So again, that is the first episode of Second Draft Cinema. And we really do appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you're still listening to me do the closing again.
Hey, I'm part of it. Not just you.
Well, I'm just talking. But while I'm saying these words, if you guys are still hanging around, Rich is here, but I am speaking. So I am saying me. Me. But yes. So thank you.
You mean you? Not you mean we?
You mean we.
So then you go the royal we?
The royal we.
We.
We. I mean, the royal we, it's you and I. I mean, there's really no other royal. It's we're both sitting here. So
Yeah, but you keep saying
unless
you.
unless Ernie claims ownership over this podcast, like he's done with us several times.
Oh, he's no matter what we do, he will always claim ownership.
It's true. It's true.
Because we let him.
I've been badgering him. I've been talking about this show that we're eventually going to do. And I said, you are going to have to come on and watch the movies with us eventually. And he goes, depends on the movie, as always. So I knew he wouldn't be on for these because, as he has stated several times, he wasn't a big dinosaur person.
You know, he's more national. I remember National Treasure. We do National Treasure. He'll be on for that.
He's the Indiana Jones guy. You know, historical.
Okay, so yeah, when
Dinosaurs
we do the Indiana Jones. Was it fifthology? It's not a quadrilogy.
It's a quintology.
Saga, let's say.
Saga is probably an easier word to spell.
Yeah. Okay. So Ernest Dempsey, this is your public call out to come on our show when we do the saga of Indiana Jones.
Well, number one, I also guarantee if he did watch this episode, he is not watching it right this second at this time.
I don't care.
We probably should have mentioned him maybe coming on earlier in the show.
So we have a lot of maybe coming ons.
There's a lot of maybe. No, and expect that as the episodes come out, we do have some friends that we know will want to come out and watch the movies.
My cat just ate a fly.
Cool. Protein. All natural.
Yeah.
Unless it's, unless that fly is filled with,
I don't know.
Bug killer.
I don't know.
The bug could be poisoned and then the cat would be,
No, I don't think the bug was poisoned. It's just
that's what cats do.
It's hunting bugs.
Yeah, my cat does.
Sorry.
Anyways,
we are not doing a documentary show.
Squirrel.
So she's a beauty too.
Homo sapien is very easily distracted.
Oh, he's a beauty too, this kitty. Oh,
yeah. Oh, he's a beaut.
I'm gonna stick my finger up his cloaca. Oh, he's angry.
Thank you for watching, everyone. We appreciate it, and we will see you next time with The Lost World: Jurassic Park.